Hello, welcome to Regional King. Have you ever wondered what exactly is the best region in all of Pokemon? Currently, as we speak, there are 9 generations of Pokemon in 10 regions, talking about Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos, Alola, wow, I'm an idiot, Galar, Hisui, and Paldea. I'm here today to answer which one of these regions is the best. If we formulated teams VGC style to determine which region performs the best using only Pokemon introduced for each region. Today we will see TPS Platinum and myself joining together to be able to battle all of these regions together. Each one of us are piloting 5 different teams. We did a whole draft. There's a whole video on that. But that's not this video. This video is just the massive video showcasing the entire tournament. So thank you for tuning in. Feel free to fall asleep. Welcome to what I believe is the inaugural battle of the Regional King format. This is going to be Kanto versus Sinnoh. Welcome to Regional King. If you do not know what this is, go back to my channel and watch the information video explaining what this is. I'm probably going to link it above here. But the double Intimidate lead with Arcanine and Gyarados versus the Garchomp and Hippowdon. Neutering their attacks. Sandstream comes into play, which is also going to potentially make this Garchomp practically invisible. Welcome to this new format, as Gummy is making some decisions of what to do. Gummy brings out Clefairy against this team, as the Hippowdon is removed by Plat to bring in Pachirisu. Shout out Sejun Park. Terrestrialization goes up into the Arcanine spot. Arcanine is now going to be a flying type, so it cannot be hit by Earthquake or any other ground type move. Extreme Speed goes into the Garchomp. Swords Dance goes up by the Garchomp, upping its attack. As everybody except for Garchomp will be buffeted by the Sandstorm. Both these teams are very well made. Sinnoh is piloted by Platinum. Kanto is piloted by none other than me, Gummy. A first round exit is on the table here for either of these two teams, who will come out victorious. Decisions are still being made by Platinum. Helping Hand comes out of the Clefairy spot to help out the Arcanine, as Extreme Speed goes into the Garchomp for negligible damage. Follow Me is going to happen next, which, if you can tell, Follow Me is at a lower priority bracket than Extreme Speed. Extreme Speed is a good way to fight through Follow Me. By the way, the music in the background is none other than Palmer's theme from the Battle Frontier / Battle Tower. It's one of my favorite themes across all of the games. Helping Hand again goes into the Arcanine spot. Goldie Boy is going to use Extreme Speed again into the Garchomp to take it out. Garchomp, despite its amazing power as a pseudo-legendary, was rendered useless in this matchup Nuzzle goes into the Arcanine spot, landing a critical hit, but most importantly, landing the paralysis, potentially rendering it useless in future turns and lowering its speed, which won't do much so long as it's clicking into the move of Extreme Speed. As the Sandstorm continues to buff it, all of the Pokemon on the field, Lucaria comes out from Platinum. That is a funny nickname. We were going back into some potentially old videos. Well, somebody might have said Lucario, and the closed captions picked up Lucaria, which is actually disease, something to do with the tit of a female doing something. Let's look this up. Live commentary. Lucaria is the flow of whitish, yellowish, or greenish discharge from the vagina of the female that may or may not be a normal sign of an infection. It is not from the tit, it is from the vag. The more you know from Lucaria. It's really funny that the closed caption picked up Lucario's name as Lucaria, because according to closed caption, Lucario is not a ward, but obviously Lucaria is. As Clefairy uses Protect to shield itself from damage, as Extreme Speed goes into that very defensively focused Pachirisu, Meteor Mash is going to go into the Clefairy spot, hoping for a super effective potential KO, but it does nothing, and Platinum doubled into the Clefairy, hoping to paralyze it also, but it was rendered to do nothing. The only damage outside of Sandstorm that was picked up this turn was from the Arcanine spot. What decisions will Platinum make this turn? Will Platinum be able to take 2 steps forward and 0 steps back? Or will it be the other way around? Terastallization goes up from Platinum's side of the field into the Lucaria spot to make him a rock type in hopes that an Extreme Speed is coming his direction to reduce the damage. But instead, this Helping Hand comes up as the music resets. Meteor Mash into the Arcanine spot, leaving him with a sliver of HP as he restores a little tiny bit with his Citrus Berry. Activating Super Fang is going to go into the Clefairy, taking out half of its HP. Goldie Boy cannot move due to the paralysis, leaving this turn a negative turn for Gummy's Kanto team. Sandstorm is continuing to buff it, everybody on the field except for Lucaria. He can only hope that he somehow survives this turn. He can only hope that they're going to double into the Clefairy spot. Helping Hand goes from Clefairy into the Arcanine in hopes that they do not target the Arcanine, as Pachirisu uses Protect. And Lucaria... Oh! Goldie Boy is paralyzed! I repeat, it is paralyzed as Meteor Mash goes into the Clefairy. Paralyzation 2 turns in a row, rendering this Arcanine a useless pawn on the field as Clefairy, its teammate, goes down, no longer able to help it with reducing damage coming in. What decisions will Gummy make? He's going to send out the Gyarados, reducing the attack of the opponents on the field, specifically mainly the Lucaria. This music is bopping. I love it. I am sitting here in my computer chair, dancing, bopping my head. How would this match play out? It seems like both of these players are hampered, as the Follow Me can no longer really be ignored due to the paralysis. Oh, I guess Follow Me and Extreme Speed are the same priority bracket, but because Arcanine is faster, that's why it went first. This makes sense. Waterfall goes into the Pachirisu to take it out. That was a bold move right there to go ahead and shore up that spot. Everybody is being buffeted yet again. Bopping my head around. Platinum sends out his Hippowdon. Platinum is down to his last two Pokemon that do have good synergy with each other, but will they be able to survive the onslaught of Gummy's Kanto team? Will this Sinnoh squad prove itself useful in this match? Will it be able to get a clutch out? Extreme Speed goes into the Hippowdon and does next to 0 damage as the Meteor Mash goes into the Arcanine slot, taking it out. What does Gyarados do this turn? Gyarados sets up the Rain Dance, knowing that Sandstream cannot be reactivated, to now lower the opponent's special defense via the boost that they get from the Sandstorm, but more importantly, boosting its water type attacks. It's only going to have one turn to do so because it will be falling asleep. This Dragonite also is not going to take chip damage from the Sandstorm, which could be potentially very beneficial. Decisions are going to need to be made. Assault Vest prevents Dragon Dance. Why was Gummy using Assault Vest? Well, why was Gummy using either Assault Vest or Dragon Dance on this set? What was he thinking? Meteor Mash goes into the Dragonite spot, taking out quite a chunk of HP as Carpe Diem uses Taunt on the Lucario for prevention of, I don't remember what move, but Iron Head goes into the Lucario, taking out that vaginal disease. Sorry to my below 18. I mean, a vaginal disease isn't 18 plus. People below 18 have vaginas and potentially have diseases with them. You need to go to the doctor to have that checked out if you have Lucario. Carpe Diem has now fallen asleep. Can this Hippowdon, one of the greatest Generation 4 Pokemon of all time, do not at me? Can it clutch this out? Who shall prove victorious within this first round? Doing live commentary is tough when you don't remember what words are fixing to come out of your mouth. Why do you keep thinking Dragon Dance is potentially a move, Gummy? Is he going to go into the taunt? Is he going to go for the damage into Waterfall, knowing that it will be boosted? Although, obviously, can't do anything because it's asleep. Gets some decent chip damage against the Hippowdon as Hippowdon goes with the course to boost both of its attack and defense as its speed is lowered. This could prove very, very valuable as both sides on Gummy's side are asleep. No sleep clause in VGC. This is not a... Oh, Carpe Diem wakes up! Is going to land the Waterfall, and Hippowdon lives on a sliver of HP. Draco, the Dragonite, is fast asleep. As Hippowdon goes for another course, could have potentially really benefited from some extra damage this turn, because that defense up isn't really going to help it at this low of HP. This seems to be game, set, and match as the Waterfall connects into the Hippowdon. Game 1 of this set is going to go to Gummy's Kanto team. The Kanto squad has gotten a victory. We move on into Game 2. How will these two teams change up their lineup in preparation against the other? What decisions will be made during this team swap? Will this go to Game 3, or will this be lickety split done 2 games out? We don't know. Tune into the rest of this battle to find out. Charizard and Clefairy versus a Frostlass and Abomasnow. Frostlass and Abomasnow trying to avoid all the hits as Frostlass's ability is going to make its evasion go up, and Abomasnow is helping that with its ability, obviously, because it's what enables that within the snow. Terrestrialization is going to go up on the side of the field of Platinum and his Sinnoh squad, changing Froslass into a pure Ice type for extra damage. As Mooney uses Helping Hand also for extra damage with the Charizard, Abomasnow landing the Protect. Will Charizard, or will the Blizzard connect and do a lot of damage? Will it be able to do enough? It does not do enough. No freezes were had. Heat Wave. Does it hit? It hits despite the ability of Froslass. It lands into the Froslass, taking it out. Turn 1. That is a major blow into Platinum's potential win con, as Froslass was not able to do enough damage to Clefairy and Charizard turn 1. Abomasnow is now going to be susceptible to a lot of damage if it cannot dodge this Heat Wave. Does he switch it out knowing a Heat Wave is coming? What is Gummy going to do? Is he going to Helping Hand to boost it? As of course he does. This Charizard, Game Freak's golden child, is not going to go forward. It's going to be hit by an Ice Shard, but it's not going to do enough damage. Heat Wave misses the Mamoswine, but of course it's going to evaporate the Abomasnow. 2 turns, 2 Pokemon's heads taken up by Gummy's squad. Cooler gets sent out. The amazing Glaceon. Glaceon is one of my favorite evolutions. I know a lot of people do not like it, but I loved it. It was on my original Platinum squad back in the day. Helping Hand goes once again into the Charizard slot. As Ice Shard goes into the Charizard, not going to do enough damage. Cooler now is the one avoiding the Heat Wave as Mamoswine gets almost taken out as a critical hit lands from the Blizzard into the Clefairy, which would have probably killed it anyway, and of course Charizard is taken out by it also. This momentum could be good. It is now again 2v2 as Gyarados and Arcanine are both going to come out onto the field, neutering the attack stat of this Mamoswine. Could they double into this Glaceon because of knowing the neutering of Mamoswine could play into their side of the field, knowing they won't take much damage from Mamoswine being -2 attack. This is a smart idea, and I will commentate on it in just a second. Goldie Boy uses Extreme Speed, and Mamoswine dodges that as the Rain Dance goes out to no longer aid the Ice types on the other side of the field. Freeze Dry goes into the Gyarados slot, which is 4 times super effective, so it is gone. It did its job though. Avalanche is going to go into the Arcanine spot. Decisions have to be made right here, right now, to take out either the Mamoswine or the Glaceon. Decisions must be made. Goldie Boy goes into the Mamoswine, taking it out, leaving it Glaceon versus Arcanine. A Terra Blast, which is going to be a normal type attack, goes into the Goldie Boy as Glaceon loses a little bit of its HP due to the Life Orb, and Citrus Berry activates for the Arcanine, restoring its health enough. Is that going to be enough to aid its vitality to be able to win? Extreme Speed looks like it's going to go into the Glaceon spot, but he has not locked in on that decision. Extreme Speed is going to go into the Glaceon spot, not doing a lot of damage. Terra Blast is going to go into Arcanine, leaving it with barely any HP as the Life Orb damage hits into Glaceon here. Flare Blitz is going to go into Glaceon, taking it out. I do not believe Arcanine would have survived the recoil if he didn't go for Extreme Speed the turn before. That was a very smart decision by Gummy. as Platinum and his Sinnoh squad is defeated, and Kanto moves on to the next round. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Regional King format. Thank you for watching. Gummy out. If you want to watch more, there's obviously links above to this playlist. Thank you guys. Wow, what a matchup for round 1. Kanto takes the victory. Kinda surprising. We figured that with power creep, Sinnoh would have done significantly better. Hopefully this is not a trend going forward. Let's tune in to the next match. Welcome to Johto vs. Paldea. I, Gummy Gamer, Gummy, am piloting Johto, as Paldea is piloted by none other than Platinum, or Plat for short. So Platinum leads with Blood Moon, Ursaluna, and Maushold, as Gummy leads with Ursaring and Typhlosion. How will this match go? We will only find out. I have went brain dead. I'm sorry. I've recorded all day. I do apologize for the unprofessionalism. Typhlosion was one of my... Actually, Typhlosion was my original starter Pokemon. That's right. I played Gold, Silver, Crystal before the others. So, Blood Moon Ursaluna is going to terastallize into the fighting type. We will see how this benefits it. Maushold is going to hit Follow Me, redirecting all attacks into itself, which is going to be very interesting. Vacuum Wave is going to hit into, super effectively, into the Ursaring, as Will-O-Wisp hits into none other than Maushold. Very nice, very nice. Facade is going to hit into Maushold, also doing quite a bit of damage. Could have potentially done more if something else happened. But yes, as I was saying earlier, Typhlosion was my very first starter Pokemon. I started playing Gold, Silver, Crystal, and went back and played Red, Blue, Yellow later on. Yeah, as you can tell, I selected the wrong item for my for my Pokemon here. Oh no, I didn't select the wrong item. I just wasn't paying attention. No, I might have selected the wrong item. I don't know. But either way, Follow Me comes out again, which is funny because Will-O-Wisp does that. Facade goes into the Maushold, taking it out. As what is Blood Moon Ursaluna going to do right now? Is it going to go for Blood Moon? It is. As it receives the normal gem's power, taking out this Cinderace completely. That Typhlosion did its best. We shall see what he is going to decide to switch into, which is going to be Point Crow the Murkrow. Point Crow is a wonderful streamer. You should go watch him. He's quite amazing. Gholdengo, as I correctly call its name, as you potentially maybe see in a future video that I did not, comes out on Platinum's side. Decisions shall be made of what attack is best. Point Crow sets up the Tailwind, making this Ursaring very, very fast, but it does not matter as it's going to take a priority Vacuum Wave to the face, but it is bulky enough to be able to take that as a Play Rough hits into the Moon Pie. Make It Rain goes into Point Crow and the Ursaring, taking out my channel mascot, falling to its face. Coming out next is Samurai the Scizor. Fun fact, Shinobi and Samurai is what I named my Scizors growing up. Decisions are being made by both sides of the field. Gholdengo is a very powerful Pokemon, very high special attack, Even with losing special attack, it can via the Make It Rain. Oh no, Make It Rain doesn't do that. Yeah, it does. Make it even losing special attack via Make It Rain. It is still very powerful. Platinum is going to go ahead and withdraw the Goldengo. That clearly he did not catch himself. I'm judging you. I understand it's really tough to get. I'm just messing with you. But Baxcalibur is going to come out as he terrestrialized his Scizor, and by him I mean me, into the Steel type, which is interesting knowing that Vacuum Wave is literally right there. But trying to get as much damage with this Bullet Punch as possible, he's going to use Protect with his Blood Moon Ursaluna. Bullet Punch goes into the Protect, rendering 0 damage done, as Quash also goes into the Protect. Honestly, I forgot how Quash worked in this battle, and honestly have still forgotten how it goes. But Point Crow is going to make a decision on a move. It's really funny here of using Quash right there. But Bullet Punch goes into the Blood Moon Ursaluna. It does not do enough to KO. Quash is going to go into Blood Moon Ursaluna completely pointlessly, because it literally was completely pointless. Like, what was that? You should have done foul play or something to chip off some damage. Clearly, Gummy was not knowing what Quash did. Vacuum Wave comes out, and since it is priority but also slower than Scizor, it hits the Scizor second. But since Scizor lost the Bug type, it is going to do super effective damage instead of neutral. What does Gummy decide to do here? Gummy decides to switch up into the Baxcalibur spot. Bullet Punch going in. Will this be enough to take out the Baxcalibur in one hit? It is enough. Right to the noggin. This Baxcalibur is out. What will this Blood Moon Ursaluna do in response? It will do a beautiful thing called Vacuum Wave, taking the Samurai out. Game 1 of Paldea vs. Johto goes to none other than Platinum, leading Paldea to victory. Paldea is a very strong region. It has access to very strong Pokemon, lots of them with great synergy with each other. Moving on to this next round, we will see how both of these competitors, both of these participants, will switch around their team to be able to maximize their potential in getting a win con against the other. Loading into battle here, we see Maushold and Annihilape. Mouseape is a very great duo together. Espeon and the Ursaring. Decisions will be made. Decisions will be made. Decisions have not been made, but decisions will be made. That was an interesting decision there, all things considered. But Terastallization goes up in the form of the Maushold to the Dark type. Which is an interesting, potentially to, block a protect here. Block a move called Psychic. I am going so brain dead. I've been recording for too long today. Bulk up by the Annihilape to reduce damage, but also heighten its damage output. Earthquake by the Ursaring goes into both of the Maushold and the Annihilape, but it's not going to do a lot of damage. Boosting Annihilape's Rage Fist power in the process. This is potentially not good. Maushold uses Population Bomb, but Gummy avoids the attack outright. Dazzling Gleam takes out the Maushold because it is now super effective, and it didn't have much chance of living anyway, but Rage Fist is now going to go most likely into this Espeon spot, obviously into the Espeon spot, because it would not affect the Ursaring as Espeon is now taken out. Annihilape is losing some of its HP as Gummy goes for Earthquake with his Gummy. I do not understand why he did not go for the super effective play. Rough opportunity there. But he is now going to switch in Point Crow as Palafin comes out with potential Jet Punch support. As in priority. That's not really Jet Punch support. That's not really a thing. But we shall see how the rest of this battle turns out. Will Gummy be left in the water to dry? That makes no sense, but will he be left in the water to be soaked up by the waves and losing this round, or will he be able to force a Game 3? Palafin is withdrawn to be able to gain its maximum power. Out comes Skeletorge. Annihilape uses Protect. Point Crow uses Tailwind to maximize the speed of future turns by this Ursaring, as Earthquake is going to go solidarily into the shiny Skeletorge here. Does it do enough damage? It does not. Skeletorge is one bulky boy. Foul play is at hand. Or taunt. Whom knows what decision will be made. This is an interesting decision considering what is potentially going to happen. But I am completely brain dead. I've been recording for literally like 3 or 4 hours today. I do not know what to say. My brain is mush. There's 30 seconds of move time left. Gummy has to make a decision quick. Will Paldea continue in victory to move on to the next round? Who shall be the recipient of this first round exit? Decisions must be made. And an interesting decision was definitely made. As Foul Play takes out the Annihilape. Gummy uses Play Rough into the Skeletorge, lowering its physical attack, which is completely pointless, as a Fire Blast goes in to take out Gummy. It doesn't actually take it out, but it does burn it, which is very interesting considering it is Guts. So it is now going to be Guts boosted. Or is it Quick Feet? I can't remember, to be honest with you. It's one of the two. Palafin is going to come out full power, ready to punch through this team. It is not looking good for Gummy. Taking out that Skeletorge last turn, or doing at least significant damage, was potentially its only opportunity there. It missed that opportunity. Jet Punch goes into the Ursaring, rendering it to be able to do no more damage, as Foul Play goes into the Palafin, doing significant damage due to Palafin's super high attack. But Torch Song is going to go into the Murkrow spot. In the back is Typhlosion, the non-Fire Ghost variety, the original Johtoian variant. It looks very bleak for Gummy and his Johto squad. Johto even being at this point in this particular game is actually significant considering how weak Johto is. But honestly, and especially because of how strong Paldea is, the Jet Punch goes into the Typhlosion, completely taking it out. It was a paperweight. Murkrow is sitting there foul playing against Palafin. It is now Skeletorge versus Murkrow. Skeletorge, can it clutch up? Right here, it does. Skeletorge lands the final KO to bring Paldea into the next round and to kick Johto out of this tournament. Platinum and Paldea move on to the next round. That was a very, very quick round. If you want to continue to see more of these, click the playlist above. If you want to see any more of my videos, also click those. Check out my channel, subscribe, like. I don't care, do something. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment down below about how bad I suck. Wow, Johto just got steamrolled by Paldea. I mean, come on, what's expected? Johto really doesn't have a lot of base stat total to deal with, and within this particular format for Season 1, didn't really have a lot of synergy. On to the next round for Paldea. Let's get on to the next match. Toodaloo! Hello everybody, this is Gummy, here to bring you round 1, technically not round 1, Alola versus Unova. I am piloting Alola, and Plat is piloting Unova. He leads with Amoonguss and Conkeldurr. I can't speak. And I lead, of course, Ho-Alola and Emperor Thoth. I'm going Brain Dead because I'm trying to do this in one take. Obviously, this is... I'm Brain Dead. Guys, this is atrocious. I'm Brain Dead. These Pokemon are Mimikyu and Oranguru. I don't know what's wrong with me. So obviously I'm going to go for an Instruct in Swords Dance Turn 1. If you haven't caught on by this point of watching my channel from time to time, I really love Instruct spam. So we're going to see how this goes. Ho-Alola has followed the instructions of Emperor Thoth, getting to where now I'm +4 attack. Conkeldurr is using Bulk Up, which is a good strategy turn 1 by Plat. He probably knows what I'm going for here. He goes Spore into Emperor Thoth, which is interesting. You'd figure he'd go Spore into the Mimikyu. Let's see if this works out for him. And of course the Flame Orb hits Conkeldurr. It is a Guts set, of course. So, why am I doing Instruct again? I don't know what's wrong with me, because it's completely pointless already. Like, I'm max attacking right now. So me using Instruct is completely pointless here. I don't know what I was doing, to be honest with you. But Emperor Thoth gets absolutely destroyed by that superpower. Conkeldurr is now slightly weaker. And of course the Rage Powder, but that Rage Powder didn't really come into play here. So now we have Ollie and Clowny. Clowny is the Ugly Fish Pokemon. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible. Why am I forgetting names in the middle of this? This is atrocious. And as you notice on screen, this is where I made my mistake. I selected the wrong item for my Mimikyu. I don't know why I had a choice item on it, and so it's completely pointless here. And I don't want to tip Plat off to how pointless this is, because I still want to have a win condition. Guess what? I pretty much have no win condition, because Ho-Alola can't do anything right now. The smartest thing for me to do would be to go ahead and switch. But I'm an idiot. I'm a complete idiot. I'm a complete idiot. What is wrong with me? I do not know. But I go ahead and Terrasilize into the Fairy type. And guess what? And that's with Bruxus, by the way. I remember Bruxus's species name. I'm an idiot. So I go into Psychic Fangs to try to go ahead and take out that Conkeldurr. Does nothing, but Conkeldurr misses its attack. Clear Smog over here, completely reverses the stat changes, and go ahead and takes out the Disguise, which is like totally fine. That's just, you know, how it's going right here. So of course here, I don't know why I'm not switching out. This is dumb. I should have switched out last turn. This was a misplay by me. I could have saved this, but I'm a bit of an idiot. So for whatever reason, I don't view Conkeldurr as really much of a threat right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out, or attempt to take out, this Amoonguss. And Plat is taking a long time to select his moves for I don't know what reason. Of course, I'm not strong enough here to take out the Amogus, but I did hefty damage into it. Stone Edge heal, critical hit, I'm taken out. Admittedly, looking back, obviously, in hindsight, I should have taken out the Conkeldurr right there. Should have just went ahead and, nipped that in the bud. But, c'est la vie, it is what it is, and we move on. Hololola falls asleep here, which Hololola, literally, in this set, is completely dead weight. This Mimikyu is a dead weight right now, specifically because of its item, and I never switched it out. I had an opportunity to switch it out. Now, from this point on, it's super dead weight. I have no opportunity to switch it out. So my Lycanroc comes out, this is midday form, to go for a Swords Dance. Why am I going for a Swords Dance here, to be honest with you? Oh, Hololola went for the Swords Dance, of course. So, I don't mind the Rage Battle, because I'm using a double target move anyway. And, of course, Hololola is still asleep. Let's see if we can go ahead and just take both of these guys out. Of course, it's not going to, because the Amogus dodges the attack, avoids it, which is frustrating. So now I super have no win condition, because I'm pretty sure, bless me, it would have been helpful to not have this Amogus on their side. But we're going to see what Platt is going to respond within this. He sends out Hydreigon. And of course, I have to go for something here, and I'm gonna go for Rock Slide, I imagine. Get the most damage off. Why am I thinking? I don't know why. But Heat Wave comes in. Of course, Dead Weight dodges it. And Dead Weight is still asleep. Boom, Lycanroc does decent chip damage into Hydreigon. Go ahead and takes out the Amogus. I can't even pronounce its name correctly at this point. I am smoldering in how bad I fumbled this match. But you play the matches out. It doesn't matter. If you mess up, you select the wrong item, you play the matches out. It is how you do these things. So here I'm going to continue to do Dead Weight over there, and then I go for Rock Slide here again. Horsepower is probably going to take me out here. Yeah, Horsepower definitely takes me out. So that is essentially hook, line, and single for the match. We'll see if Chandelure can one-shot this Hololola, the Dead Weight, using Swords Dance yet again. Shocker! Oh my gosh. Go ahead and comment down below how many times Hololola used Swords Dance in that fourth set, guys. Completely fumbled the bag on this set. It was atrocious. It was terrible. What is wrong? So Platt takes the game one here of this particular match in this particular round. It's technically round one, but it's technically round two. You've seen how the tournament works out. It's technically round one, technically round two. But we move on to our next set. Can I redeem the team? Can I not screw up? We have opportunity in between individual sets to change around items within the set of 6 that we have, and change around Pokemon that we bring and whatnot. So I lead with Swords Dance Mimikyu this time, and Dancer Bluey, which is a Pokemon that I'm forgetting about. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible. I should have the names of the team right in front of me. I didn't realize how hard it'd be to remember Pokemon names when you're trying to do a live commentary. What is wrong with me, people? What is wrong with me? Am I gonna go for Acrobatics? Am I going for Revelation Dance? I think I've decided to go for Revelation Dance. So Hololola is going to, the Mimikyu is going to use Swords Dance. How many times have we seen that? And because of it, we are going to see my Bluey also use Swords Dance and then hit a super effective Revelation Dance, which does absolutely nothing into Gothitelle, because guess what? Gothitelle is one bulky boy. Or girl. I don't know if it is a boy or girl. Can Gothitelle be a boy? I'm pretty sure it's gender locked. But, yeah, by the way, it's my Oricorio. That's what I'm going a brain dead on. So I'm gonna, of course, go for a Shadow Sneak Heal. I figured I'd try my luck at another Swords Dance, but gonna go ahead and Terra Ghost. Nope, I've changed my mind. Am I gonna switch? Nope, I'm not. Oh, am I? Oh, am I thinking about it? Am I thinking about it? Am I thinking about it? No, I'm not. I'm gonna go ahead and Terra Ghost Revelation Dance. Or am I gonna sit here and... what am I doing? The typo's going up. And he go ahead and selects the Terastallization into the Revelation Dance. We will see what Gothitelle will do in response to this. Still, honestly, kind of shocked that I'm not going for another Swords Dance. But I think it's because I know that Clear Smog could potentially be coming. Rage Paddle comes instead. Should have seen this from a mile away. And I should have maybe selected a different move knowing this. But, of course, with my Oricorio, I go for the Revelation Dance. And does absolute jack nothing into the Amogus slot as the Oricorio almost dies here. So, of course, I believe this next turn, we're just going to try to get as much chip off here with Bluey, the Oricorio, as we can before retiring. I'm not playing this set too well, but I think I'm powered up enough, and Ho-Oh-Lola hadn't taken any damage so far yet, so I'm kind of still in a decent spot here. So go into the Shadow Sneak to go ahead and take out that Gothitelle. That Gothitelle is out. It's out of commission. It is gone. See ya, sayonara, bye-bye, pack your bags. Acrobatics comes out, destroys the Amogus. Now I'm in the driver's seat. Platt is left with just 2 Pokemon left. This is completely flipped. I seem to have fumbled the bag completely the last set. This set, I was beginning to fumble the bag, but matchups worked out perfectly fine. And now we're into Chandelure and the Hydreigon. I believe we do not know what Terra type this Hydreigon is. From a commentator's perspective, I believe it's a Fire type, because that's what's common with these guys. I don't know. It could be electric. I don't know. Usually people try to pair it up with something good with the Levitate to add an extra immunity that would normally be a weakness. But we're going to see what we're going to do here. I imagine for just most amount of power possible, I'm going to go with Acrobatics. Come on, dude. Just choose the move. He is contemplating. Okay, so Ho-Oh-Lola goes into the Shadow Sneak, almost taking out that Chandelure. It would have been so nice to take out that Chandelure, but in response, Mimikyu gets burned. Its attack is now halved, instantly taking that Swords Dance and completely removing it. So it seems like Bluey has dodged the attack, and amazingly enough, because of the disguise, Mimikyu takes no damage either, or, well, doesn't take the bulk of the damage. But we're now still no Pokemon down, and we're just versus this Hydreigon. We're in the driver's seat. Surely we can't fumble this, right? Surely not. Let's see what happens. Surely I'm not going to go for the U-turn there, because I know he's going to Terastallize. And I don't know what the Terastallize is, but I'm pretty sure it's not Dark. He does not go for the Terastallization. He goes for the Heat Wave. Ho-Oh-Lola dodges the attack. Bluey is out of commission. Bluey is retired for this match. Go ahead and pack your bags to Cabo, Bluey. It's been nice using you. You did a heck of a lot of work there. And then the quad super effective fairy type move that is also stab takes out the Hydreigon to defeat Platt for this second set. We are going into game 3, boys. Gummy versus Platt. It is Alola. It is versus Unova. Will I fumble the bag this time around? Or will I remain victorious? Or will Platt fumble the bag? Or will he find a way to destroy me, even though it's kind of confusing how these battles work? He's probably going to kick my butt, let's be honest. But, so he goes out with his 4th lead of the initial game, and I also got my 4th lead of the initial game. Hopefully this time my item is fixed. So of course, do I go for the Swords Dance or do I go for Play Rough? That's right, he expects that I'm going for the Swords Dance, so I go with Play Rough, and then I go into Instruct, to ensure maximum damage. Can I take out this Conqueror? Can I get the Instruct off? I get the Instruct off. Is the move gonna hit? Or is it 95% accuracy gonna rear its ugly head? And it hits. Conqueror is out. I'm in the driver's seat. Surely I can't fumble the bag whatsoever, right? Surely not, as I'm shaking my waddle y'all hear in this background. He goes with the Clear Smog to take out my disguise, also thinking that I'm going for Sword Stance, but I knew that he was going to go for Clear Smog. That's why I didn't go for Sword Stance, guys. So currently, it is 4-3 within this set. He brings out Samurott. Do I go for Play Rough? Do I go for Shadow Sneak? What do I do? I go ahead and maybe decide to Terra Steel. Do I get cocky? Do I switch? Decisions are on the board. I don't believe it's wise to switch here, but I thought about it. Terra Steel. Why am I Terra Stealing here? I honestly do not know. Maybe I'm thinking that Waddle is not very effective, or Dark is not very effective, which I don't believe is the case anymore. But should I go for Psychic Terrain? Should I go for Protect? What shall I do? I go for, guess what? Instruct, because guess what is really great when you can attack twice with your most powerful Pokemon on the same turn. So we go ahead and go Terastallization here, full on Terra Steel for defensive purposes. Honestly, in hindsight, I don't know why I was doing this. Comment down below if you can figure out what my two brain cells were cooking, because I don't know. And let's see what the Samurott terrestrializes into. It terrestrializes into Electric. An interesting move here. We wonder what the purposes are. Of course, we see the Amogus go with the Rage Powder. All the center of attention is going to Amogus. Amogus takes nothing from that resisted hit. We go with Terra Blast, Electric, into Mimikyu. I don't really know what's going on with this turn, legitimately. And of course, because of the Rage Powder, Instruct goes into Amogus, who uses Rage Powder again to no avail, because guess what? The turn's already over. The turn's already over! I can't believe it. But that turn was a big L on me, because if you look at the damage output that I did versus the damage that I received, I lost that turn badly. Now I am panicking, deciding what shall I do? I should go for Psychic. I don't know what I'm doing in hindsight. It's very easy to see your mistakes in hindsight, guys, isn't it? I threw this match. But go ahead and go for Shadow Sneak here. Look at that. Terra Blast comes out and destroys something. Let's see what it will destroy. Of course it will destroy the #1 threat on the field, which is Hoalola. Which, by the way, using this Psychic Terrain was very interesting, because yes, it will double my Psychic powers, but will also block priority moves, which I believe at this point he has none of. Unless Rage Powder is considered a priority move, that's actually a good question. I do not know off the top of my head if it is blocked here. But that Spore came out into the Oranguru slot, and Oranguru is asleep. Now, will I continue to fumble the bag? Why am I going into a Water type when there is a Terra Electric user using Terra Blast, destroying through my team on the field, while he also has Rage Powder? What is wrong with me? Am I going to go hilarious mode and go with the Disable onto the Amogus slot to where he can no longer use Rage Powder? Or am I going to go Psychic Fangs, knowing that it's going to end up targeting the Amogus and it will be super effective? The world may never know. I don't even know. I'm live commentating this like a month after. Let's find out. It goes into the Psychic Fangs, into the Samurott slot, which is very interesting. It's because I'm scared of that Samurott. And I'm going to go Instruct into the Psych. I'm going to go Protect to make sure that nothing happens, which is kind of pointless because I'm asleep. But Crocodile comes out. So he thought I was going to go Psychic Fangs into that slot, which is funny because in post I thought that's what I was doing too. which is, I'm kind of glad in post that's not what it is. I don't even remember how this battle turns out. Did I win? Does Plat win? I don't know. At this point, I think Plat wins, because guess who's about to die? That's right, Clowny the Bruxish. It's been good knowing you, Clowny the Shiny Bruxish. You are such a beautiful Pokemon. Don't at me. But, continuing on, let's see if Ollie, the shiny Pokemon of the name of a Pokemon that has Accelerock as its main move that it uses, Lycanroc. I am an idiot. I'm completely an idiot. So, I'm gonna continue to go to Protect with Emperor Thoth until Emperor Thoth wakes up. Emperor Thoth being the Oranguru. Comment down below if you understand what video game reference Emperor Thoth is, and if you like that video game, if you're a fan. But he withdraws the Samurott, which is an interesting ploy here. Of course, we're bringing out the Amogus because he is expecting a Rock-type move that will double target. Emperor Thoth has woken up, used Protect, which is quite the glorious goldenness. Let's see what Rock Slide does here. Does it get a flinch on the Krook? Let's see what happens with the Krook, as Ollie loses some of his HP due to the thing called Life Orb, and the Krook goes crunch into the Oranguru slot who used Protect, so it did absolutely nothing. We are seemingly even-ish on this turn. Let's see what happens. We're gonna go Psychic into the Amogus. Yes, we all Rock Slide hits. Does a good bit of damage. Does it get any necessary flinches? Heal. Crocodile goes Earthquake heal, which is atrocious. Terrible, taking out the Amogus, but also taking out the slow animation of my Rock Slide user. And then, of course, Psychic will end up going into the slot that it will do no damage to. And at this point, it appears that I can't really do anything. It appears Plat is going to take this set, because literally I cannot damage his Crocodile. Plat takes the set. I'm still going to play out the set, because that's just what I do. It's just how I play. I hate when people DQ early. I guess you can run from the battle, and that's okay, but I like to see the actual stats, just in case, you know, that way we can say, right, heal. Crocodile got the final kill, whereas if I would have DQ'd early, there would have been no extra final kill. But aside from that, Plat takes the set, and he takes the match. He takes game 3, he takes the match. It was good. Good job, Plat. And that concludes this video. On to the next tournament, battle, set, match thing. Yes, thank you. I hope my live commentary is not atrocious. It probably is. Thank you all for tuning in. Until next time. What? Oh, are you still here? Why are you still watching? The video's over. Well, I think I might know why you're watching. Are you wanting to join a great online gaming community through Discord, where you could play many different games, like VGC Pokemon, as you see here, or Mario Party, or play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet raids, or maybe even doing some BBQ farming, or playing other games completely, like Minecraft, Mario Golf, any Mario Sports title on the Switch, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Animal Crossing, Monster Hunter Rise, Stardew Valley, Splatoon 2 or 3, and more. You name it. Would you like to join? Well, guess what? I have a Discord. It's called Slime Zone. Wow, that was such a good one take. Oh well. I have a Discord, Slime Zone Arcade. Join it. It's going to be in the description. And for whatever reason, if you want to join and you don't see it in the description, comment down below. I'll respond. I'll give you the link. Please join. I'd love to play games with you. It'd be awesome. Yeah. Let's have fun. Unova! Obviously, Unova gets a big victory there in this second round of Regional King. On to the next round, guys. More to this awesome tournament to go. Hopefully you're not asleep yet. But I understand if you're asleep. But come on, just stay up a little bit longer. Come on, guys, let's go. Welcome back to another Regional King. We are doing Hoenn versus Galar. Generation 8 versus Generation 3. Let's see how this goes. Ooh, Mustard's theme to start this out. I love these nicknames, Booty Holo and Porta John. Yes, you will never be able to see a Pelipper the same again. Gummy is leading dual starters here with the Cinderace. And, of course, none other than the drum-beating menace himself, Mookie the Rillaboom. I almost went brain dead again. So let's see. He's going to go into Fake Out into the Pelipper. And then we will see what Cinderace will do. Cinderace is just going to go maximum damage here with the Acrobatics. Hydro Pump goes into the Cinderace spot, and Cinderace will not be able to use Acrobatics. Gone too soon. And of course, Porta John cannot move. What is Gummy's next move? He's going to go into Quick Bro, the Galarian Slowbro. This Pokemon is very interesting because it's holding the Quick Claw, and its ability is essentially the Quick Claw again in Quick Draw. So we shall see what kind of craziness it can do. As Gummy is indecisive of what to do with Rillaboom. So, what is he going to do with Quick Bro? Is he going to go with Protect? Is he going to go with Shell Sidearm? The world may never know. He's going to go Protect to Scout. And of course, he gets the Quick Claw proc on an already high priority move being Protect. Plat goes into the Terastallization. Into, of course, none other than Ludicolo, expecting probably that Poison-type Shell Sidearm into its slot, and or to just do more damage here. I love that animation, by the way. Potentially wanting to do more damage, and actually that is not. It was purely a defensive one. Let's see what Mookie goes into with the Knock Off, dropping the Assault Vest, which isn't really going to help Plat. Or the Assault Vest really wasn't helping Plat right now, considering he's facing two physical attackers. So that was kind of pointless, but it is good to know for the rest of the match that it, or the rest of the other matches to go, that it is Assault Vested. So Mr. Sideshell Arm here, Quick Bro, is going to go for a Belly Drum. This is ballsy. He goes... Oh, Rillaboom lands the Grassy Glide for the KO on the Booty Holo, the Ludicolo. I love that nickname, Plat. Yes, I am the one that technically came up with that nickname, but I still love it. And Mookie is out of commission via the Pelipper. The evil Pelipper deleted that Rillaboom right there, as Quick Bro uses the wonderful move of Belly Drum. Now it is +6 attack, as it restores some of its HP from the grassy terrain. Colossal comes out next, as Plat is deciding to bring something in. Something. We shall find out. He sends Milotic out. Both of these water types are very strong. Up against Colossal, which I already said was coming out, but what does Colossal decide to do this turn? Does it decide to Terastallize here? It does not. Look at this. A double Protect to Scout to see what moves are going to happen. Will this play in the favor of Gummy, or will Plat gain momentum with this? As, of course, Plat uses Coil. Wasn't going to attempt to damage anyway. This is good momentum for Plat, as we get to see Hurricane is going to do absolutely nothing into the double Protect. Quick Bro continues to gain some HP back. Milotic, now being born, now has sky-high physical defense. This is going to be tough for Gummy to break through. This is potentially going to be a very quick battle, because it looks like Plat has the upper hand. What will Gummy do? As this music awkwardly reset, that was really funny. Good job editing, Gummy. Oh, Portal John is being brought back. Let's see what he brings in its place. Oh, Salamence comes out. It's going to get an Intimidate off into both of these Pokemon to lower their attack, to increase the survivability of their team as the Hydro Pump goes into Quick Bro and takes Quick Bro out. Quick Bro is out of commission. Didn't actually get to take advantage of the double chance of priority as the Rock-type move called Power Gem goes into the Salamence spot, doing a decent bit of damage, but not enough to take it out. Most likely due to the Intimidate. Colossal is going to be stuck here. I do not believe that Colossal can really do anything against these guys. What will Colossal decide to do? Should Colossal decide to, I don't know, terrestrialize? What are you thinking? Oh, of course he goes for Protect to just stall out to see what happens. Salamence uses Hydro Pump. This is a special set on this Salamence to take advantage of the rain. A very smart choice by Plat. It does nothing into this Colossal at this moment, as Milotic takes a little tiny sliver of burn damage. Obviously, the Terrestrialization has to come out now, hoping that this Power Gem can take out Salamence and somehow Milotic cannot do anything. But with another Pokemon in the back in the Pelipper, I do not think that this Colossal can steam through this engine of a team. Yes, I hate myself. That was such a terrible pun. As we watch the Colossal Terrestrialize into the Rock type to increase damage output and reduce damage coming in. The Hydro Pump comes in. Of course, Plat never misses his Hydro Pumps for the KO. Colossal is out of commission, and this match is handed to Plat with Team Hoenn. Of course, celebrate, take the champagne. As we move on into game number 2, will this be over in 2 games? Or will this be a quick out on the hand of Hoenn? Hoenn is a very strong powerhouse. They have great synergy with all the members have synergy with each other. It is going to be tough to be able to take this team out. As we see the leads coming out, Plat is throwing out Torkoal and Shiftry, completely going into a different set of team members here. As we see Colossal and Gritty come out. Gritty is literally doing the Gritty. Why have I forgotten what Pokemon that is? Oh my gosh. Phalanx. There we go. Yes, my brain decided to remember what Phalanx was. So, in the midst of my ramblings, I didn't even see what Gummy chose to do. But we will find out as Terrestrialization is up, turn 1 for Platinum as he terrestrialized into the Fire type with the Shiftry, a very great defensive move. We shall see what happens here as it uses Solar Blade, and because the sun is up with Torkoal, this is a turn 1 move that gets to go straight into potentially the Colossal spot for massive damage, and it does massive damage. It doesn't quite take it out as it takes a little bit of recoil. Gritty is literally doing the Gritty with no retreat as it gets an Omni boost. That is right, every stat is being elevated as we speak. I don't know where I was going to that. I got a little bit too hyped. Gritty can no longer escape at this moment. Colossal goes into the Earth Power, into the Torkoal, taking out half of its HP and getting the lucky special defense drop as a Body Press takes out Colossal. Colossal is no longer in commission. This is a crazy turn 1. Gritty has the Omni boost, but Colossal has been taken out. Gummy is now on his back leg. Pinch your chin, as Shady likes to call it. I love that name, actually. Pinch your chin. Why didn't I give any of these guys nicknames? What is wrong with me? Normally I do that. But, well, I mean, I gave Gritty a nickname. So we shall see what is going to happen turn 1. Gritty goes in for a rock slide. This is going to do massive damage if this is an all-fire team to take advantage of all of this, but it is not. Oh, it is a flying type coming in on the rock slide. It's still going to do super effective damage as Gritty's attack has been fallen, but Defiant activates and raises it even higher. Oh, yes. The weather ball goes into Gritty. I do not believe this is going to do a lot of damage. It actually does massive damage. What was I thinking? Of course, this is a base power 100 stab. Oh, Shiftry falls out of commission, and Salamence has taken too much damage this turn. This does not look good for Salamence. And Pincurchin throws out Toxic Spikes, which is normally a singles move, but throwing it out just to help with a little bit of extra damage, just in case this becomes a Vitality matchup, as Platinum sends out the Camerupt, who gets immediately poisoned. Pincurchin is getting greedy with another Toxic Spikes. We shall see if it survives long enough to be able to throw that out. Gritty, who is going to be pretty fast. Can it be fast enough to get off this rock slide? As it is, Salamence is going to be taken out, and Camerupt takes a good bit of chip. And that crit was not needed on that Salamence, as we saw the previous turn. Even though Gummy is on his... Oh! The Camerupt got flinched! Gummy is no longer on his back leg as the second set of Toxic Spikes come out. Now, every Pokemon that comes in that is not a poison or in flight will be badly poisoned. This could be a bad scenario for Plat, as Torkoal comes in, immediately gets hampered by being badly poisoned. We shall see how this match continues. Pincurchin is going to go for Scald, which is going to be nice in this matchup, as Gritty continues to go for Rock Slide, outspeeding everything and taking out the entire field. Gritty is literally Gritty is literally doing the Gritty all over this battlefield. Gritty is unstoppable. Phalanx survives as Gummy wins game 2. This is going to go into game 3. Hoenn versus Galar. We shall see how these teams rematch up and change up their matchups to see who shall become victorious. This music came in a little tiny bit early. I ain't fixing it right now. I could go back and fix it, but it's alright because it is Marnie's theme. Probably one of, if not the best themes in Generation 8, as the battlefield disappears underneath us. Ah yes, leading the double water lead as all of this rain is coming down onto the battlefield. Of course, Gritty is going to no retreat turn 1, as we can potentially see a Thunder come out turn 1 from the Pincurchin, because it is now 100% accurate, bypassing accuracy checks due to the rain. But who shall he target, the Milotic or the Portageon? Of course he's going to target the Milotic, because actually, honestly, it could go with either. But we shall see what Plat does turn 1 in response. He goes ahead, into Terastallization, into none other than the Milotic, into the Water type, to increase damage output. Let's see who it's going to target. Turn 1. It is probably going to target this literally grittying Phalanx to go ahead and take it out, because as we learned in the last match, it can be dangerous if you allow it to stay on the field for longer than expected. Of course, it can no longer retreat after that Omni Boost. Hydro Pump is going to be powered by the rain and the Terastallization into the Phalanx, into a one-shot. Phalanx has been taken out of commission. It can no longer do anything, as the Hurricane goes into the Pincurchin and does not do a lot of damage, as Thunder goes into the Milotic spot and takes it out in one shot. Both of these teams, really big powerhouses, had been taken out turn 1 as those support Pokemon stay on the field. Not that Pelipper can't be more than a support Pokemon, because obviously it is. But as we continue, B2 Balmor, the amazing Dragon Ghost pseudo-legendary from Generation 8. Why, in the middle of all of this, do I forget Pokemon's names as Dragapult? Yes, as the Breloom is across the field. Let's see how Gummy potentially manages this. His most powerful powerhouse is no longer on his team. Ooh, this is an interesting call-out right here. I wonder why he is doing that. Beats the heck out of me. Why would he not be selecting Thunder into Portageon? What is... Unless you want to pick up the Born, I get it. I really don't know what is going through his mind, as he doesn't either. So, we go into the terrestrialization of none other than the Dragapult, the B2 Balmor, Terra Ghost, to hit a Terra Blast. Ah, yes! He called the potential Protect. Doubling into the Breloom spot, Terra Blast goes out. And almost takes out Breloom in one shot as Breloom hits a Bullet Seed. This is most likely boosted by the loaded dice, so it can take out the Pincurchin in one, technically 3 or 4, 5, 3 hits. Gummy is still continuing to be put on his back leg. Quick Blow comes out. They're going to have to do something against Portageon here this turn. I do not think the vitality of Gummy's team can last with Portageon staying alive. As he goes into the protecting, showing off that amazingly cute animation. Dragon Dart hits into the Breloom, and it's also going to be able to hit into the Portageon spot. Can you imagine if Surging Strikes also did this? Holy crap, I know that was a tangent that was unnecessary, as B2 Balmor is taken down to very low health, and also gets confused from the Hurricane. Holy Orange Jesus! This battle is being turned on its head as the music flips, as Booty Holo comes out in very epic style, ready to do damage. B2 Balmor, can he outspeed and do something to Booty Holo? Or was Booty Holo boosted speed by the rain going to be able to outspeed this entire team? Let us find out on this next episode of Dragon Ball Z. The Quick Draw comes out into the Shell Sidearm, into the Booty Holo spot, taking it out in one shot as my voice cracks. Booty Holo, who is very menacing, it's taken out in one shot. Gummy is no longer on his back leg, but if he gets confused here, it could continue to put him on his back leg as he hits U-turn, which does not do it a lot of damage. Hurricane goes into the Quick Blow and gets the confusion. Holy Orange Jesus is blessing Platinum with everything. But it doesn't matter if both of these can stay alive. Let's find out what happens. It looks like now Plat is on his back leg with only one Pokemon surviving. Unless both of these Pokemon cannot hit through confusion, this could go either way. B2 Balmor gets hit with confusion. Hurricane is going to go into B2 Balmor and taking it out. It's going to be Slowbro versus Pelipper. What happens right here can determine the rest of the match. As we sit here in silence waiting, as Quick Blow hits himself in confusion, it now appears that Plat can potentially take the victory here. Quick Blow takes a Protect to try to stall out the rain. Yes, the Protect hits through, as Pelipper can sit there and do nothing. The rain is still falling down, and the rain is still falling down, so that move did not work out well enough. The electric terrain and the rain are still up. The only one affecting this battle right now is the rain. Shell Sidearm is the only thing that you can really do, hoping for a crit heal. Oh! The Quick Claw activates. Can he hit through the confusion? He does! Does he get a crit? He does not! Porta-John stays alive, but he gets poisoned! Could it come down to this? It hits through, because obviously it's going to bypass the accuracy, and Quick Blow has been fainted. This match came down to the wire. This could have gone either way, but Platt takes the victory. Hoenn moves on. Galar is sent back. That was a great matchup. I forgot it was that good. Whoa! Alright, well, I'll see y'all next week, or next time I upload, whatever the next match is. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. 7.8 out of 10, too much waddle. As always, Hoenn is going to dominate with the weather and gets a victory here. Moving on to the next round of this tournament. Let's go! Welcome to Regional King. This is Kanto versus Kalos. Without further ado, my rival enters the field, Platinum versus Megumi. He is controlling Kalos. I am controlling Kanto as he leads Klefki and Florges as I lead Arcanine and Gyarados. Getting the double Intimidate off against two special attackers is not a good turn one. A waste of usage of their abilities turn one. Let's see if Platinum can capitalize off of this mistake of a lead, or if I can get off of my back foot, as I am indecisive of what move to click and if I'm going to terastallize or not. Also, this is, I believe, the first episode of this series. If not, correct me in the comment section below. As the extreme speed goes off into the Florges spot, Klefki switches items with the target, giving Gyarados the lagging tail as Klefki gets the Rocky Helmet, which is not going to be good, as Gyarados lands a taunt into the Klefki that is practically very hard to see on the screen. Look at Go Grandma, Go, and you might be able to see Klefki as the grass is set on the battlefield by Florges. So Carpe Diem, what are you going to do this turn? By the way, rate my nicknames in the comment section below. And do not rate Platt, because apparently he doesn't love his Pokemon well enough. Although, as we will see later on in the series, I forgot to nickname some of my Pokemon. I am terrible. Extreme Speed is who is going to receive the Extreme Speed this turn, is what I meant to say. Hawlucha comes out, which is immediately going to use up its seed, Grassy Seed, however you want to pronounce it, boosting its defense, which is quite nice. Florges takes another Extreme Speed to the noggin. Florges using Chilling Waddle, which does a bit of damage and lowers the attack, neutering this puppy as Florges dies to the waterfall. A little bit too late there. A little bit too late. As the only person on the ground... These are Pokemon, what? The only Pokemon on the ground has restored a little bit of HP in Arcanine, as Noivern, one of my favorite Pokemon, comes out. Indecisive here. Gyarados goes for... It's going to go for the waterfall. What will Arcanine do? We do not know. Indecisive as always. That is what happens when you play VGC. You have to think of a lot of different outcomes as you go on. As this music resets within this battle, because that is how music goes when it does not have a proper loop point. As Platt is still deciding on what to do. Is he going to switch? Is he going to terastallize? What move is he going to use? Is he going to go all-out attack? Is he going to support? The world may never know. As the extreme speed goes off into the defensively boosted Hawlucha, while from the noodled Arcanine, as the Arcanine dies to the Hawlucha as my voice cracks. This is a good turn for Plat as Carpe Diem loses a bit of HP. Thinking the Tailwind is going to come out of the boom-busting Noivern spot, he lands a taunt. All but pointless, should have taken the damage, but he did not. As Mooney, the Clefairy, comes out. This Friend Guard will allow it to take more hits, but is it even at an HP level that matters anymore? Let's see how this turn comes out. What decisions will be made by both of these battlers? As Noivern is switched out by Platinum, what shall he bring out in its place? Of course, the Klefki, the Steel Fairy type, very defensive. Clefairy hits that Protect, does a little dance. It ain't gonna take any damage this turn, as Hawlucha lands the Acrobatics into the Gyarados spot and takes it out. This Hawlucha is very tough to destroy. Its Unburden ability makes it really fast when it uses an item, and as we saw, it used its item upon entering into the field. Can this Charizard, Game Freak's golden child, figure out how to win against 3 Pokemon, or will it die? As Gummy decides what shall he do, deciding to or not to can't English, terastallize. Yes, the Helping Hand goes in to help the Charizard, but will the Charizard live to be able to receive said extra damage as the Thunder Wave goes into the Charizard, neutering its speed and potentially making it unable to move? Hawlucha lands in Acrobatics, does a little bit over half of its HP as the Heat Wave connects into both spots, taking out the Hawlucha and the Klefki. This could be a major turn of events. How does this play well into the favor of Gummy, or does this not matter? Does Plat still have enough raw power in the back to take these Pokemon out with his Noivern fully healed? What shall Gummy decide to do with this Charizard? Is he gonna go for all-out power? Is he gonna go with the Air Slash? Is he gonna go with the Hurricane? He's gonna go with all-out power. Mooney. Oh, and the Boom Burst lands, taking out the Charizard because it is slower. I think it's naturally slower anyway, but it is out. Clefairy can only do Moonblast. Can it do enough? It cannot do enough. Doesn't even take out half of the HP. Can Mooney survive one more hit? Terra Fairy would have helped you out last turn. It would have done a bit more damage, but you didn't have the hindsight to use it, as Terra Ice comes into play with the Noivern. What tricks does Plat have up his sleeve other than defensively being able to take less and less damage? What move is going to come out into the Protect? Of course it is Boom Burst. I don't think Gummy can withstand anything from this Noivern, and that Terastallization was really good. Is now going to give Noivern a little bit more HP because it's technically not flying anymore. As the only option that can be done here is Terra Fairy Moonblast. It would have helped to do that the turn prior, but alas, it didn't actually come to fruition. Gummy was not thinking through that decision. I do not believe this Clefairy is going to live past this turn, and if it does, it will not be able to do enough the next turn, as this Clefairy is knocked out by the Boom Burst. By the way, those eyes were really creepy to see in the as it got hit. I don't know what was going on there. The Terastallization made it super weird. Platinum wins that. Good job there, Platinum. As we go into the next battle, let's see how these two participants will switch up their teams in preparation to each other, knowing what each other's teams can and will bring. Gummy versus Platinum. Round 2 of Kanto versus Kalos. This is the round 1, so I mean match 2, I guess. It's still... Words are confusing. As we see a Talonflame next to a Klefki, and, of course, a Ninetales next to a Charizard. Decisions. What moves shall be clicked? Both Klefki and Talonflame are going to be able to get off priority hits, provided that Talonflame uses a flying type move. What will be done here? Does the synergy of Ninetales and Charizard actually help here? As the helping hand goes into the Charizard, the Tailwind goes up with the Talonflame as Klefki uses Switcheroo to give the lagging tail to Charizard. I believe that same thing happened the last match. Charizard is now going to move last within its priority bracket. It gets the wide lens. Hurricane is going to go into that. Or Klefki gets the wide lens for that battle. And Talonflame is confused by that Hurricane. I would also be confused if a fire flying lizard just threw a Hurricane at my face. What decisions will be made by these two participants? Will this go to Game 3, or will this be done? Set match point within this battle. Stay tuned to find out. By the way, a word from our sponsor. Just kidding! We don't have a sponsor. The helping hand goes into the Charizard, who's going to move later as that Thunder Wave goes into the Ninetales, making it slower and potentially unable to move. Talonflame attempts to go, forced heal, and it gets a roost off. Talonflame is going to lose its flying type. It is now pure fire, which is not going to come into play as it avoids the heat wave, and Klefki goes down. This turn was bad for Gummy. It was nothing but a fault. Yes, that is right. That was a weird improv. Never gonna do that ever again. What was wrong with that? I am unhinged. Can Gummy do anything against this team? Can Kanto survive, or is Kanto going to take the first round exit? As Terastallization comes out in epic format on the Charizard to give it the grass type, expecting to take a water type move to the face. Will it be able to have extra longevity in its vitality because of this Terastallization, or will it be a moot point as Inri is confused and hits itself? This could be a good bonus for Gummy and his team. Hydro Pump changes Greninja into the water type, goes into Charlie, does not do Charlie the Charizard does not do a lot of damage. Hurricane avoided by Greninja. This is bad for Gummy. Gummy has no leg to stand on. This match is not going in any way, shape, or form going to give him any favors. I cannot speak today. This is my third video I have recorded. I am intense as all get out, and my voice is all over the place because of it. I believe this is essentially game, set, and match. There's nothing really Gummy can do. He's gonna have to rely on what's in the back. Everything is too weakened and too frail and just not reliable enough to do anything for him. Will Inri be confused? It will not! It hits through the confusion, lands a flare, but super effective into the Charizard. That grass Terastallization didn't serve to actually help him because of the Hurricane miss, as Talonflame, Inri the Talonflame, takes a lot of recoil damage. Hydro Pump into the Ninetales, almost takes it out. And is switched out with the eject button. Now we are going to see the last two Pokemon via Arcanine and Clefairy come out on Gummy's side of the field. The Tailwind has petered out. That might come into play to help out Gummy. Does that do enough to help him to be able to get him over this cliff and not falling and back onto the straight and narrow? Or does Plat just take this match? The decisions that must be made by Gummy to be able to flip this around are very vast. He has to play perfectly to be able to have a standing chance against Plat, as Plat terrestrialized his Greninja into the Water type to really boost that damage output, knowing the Friend Guard Clefairy is going to minimize damage. Helping Hand goes into the Arcanine to be able to do maximum damage with extreme speed, but that is still not enough to take out Greninja. Will Talonflame hit through the confusion? It does not. It takes damage. As the Hydro Pump is going to land into the Arcanine, and Arcanine does not survive! It dies. It is over. Gummy cannot do anything. It has to be able to do something with a Ninetales who's paralyzed and has only 30 HP. And Clefairy is just really support. It can't really do any damage. Something that myself and I pride ourselves on is we play out the battle no matter what. We don't run early just in case some crazy RNG happens. But we as the viewers and commentator myself know there is nothing that Gummy can do. This whole match, he was outplayed. And just the team on the other side was better built than this Kanto team. Snaps out of confusion, uses Roost. The Talonflame is going to heal itself. It is Mono Fire. And Hydro Pump, as usual, does not miss. Plat is really good at hitting Hydro Pumps. Naruto the Ninetale uses Will-O-Wisp to weaken the Greninja, to potentially give vitality to this team, but it's going to be too little too late. It's going to be too little too late. Overheat is going to land into one of these positions as there is a knock on my door that I cannot answer. How will this match play out? Platinum withdraws the Talonflame. Out comes the Noivern. In comes the Protect on Clefairy that we already knew. And Greninja again hitting a Hydro Pump. Platinum is on the rails. Just absolutely taking out Gummy and anything that he can do. Never missing Hydro Pumps. Takes that little bit of chip damage with Born. This match is all but over. This match is all but over. What are you doing, Gummy? Just succeed the match. Don't go for the double protect. The double protect fails. Incoming 2 barrages of hits. Hydro Pump goes in, does not miss yet again. Perfect accuracy by Platinum. If there's anything I know, if Platinum is clicking Hydro Pump, it is guaranteed to hit. As Kalos takes the victory, Platinum pilots this Kalos team to a victory against Kanto. This was not an exhilarating matchup, as Platinum has dominated. Thank you for watching. Continue to watch more Regional King. Click above. Platinum really never misses Hydro Pumps. Like, what's going on here? Kalos is going to advance to the next round, and this is showcasing a really awesome tournament thus far. Platinum absolutely dominating. Hello everybody, welcome to another round of the Regional King format. This is Gummy vs Platinum. This is actually Hisui vs Paldea, two of the biggest heavy hitters in this format. Let's see who comes on top. We have Dipplin and Meowscarada versus Hisui and Goodra, and none other than Ursaluna. As we see, the super sweet syrup is going to drop the evasiveness of Gummy's team. We're going to, as we see, he is going to set up a belly drum, forced round, and he is contemplating what to do here with Hisui and Goodra. So just as a clarification to remind people, this was done before Hydrapple existed. This was done before the second part of the DLC. This was literally done like not too crazy far after the fourth part of the DLC was released. Yes, I know we were releasing these videos well after that fact, but we will see how Turn 1 goes. Terrestrialization goes into the Ursaluna as a fighting type to boost up the damage of the Drain Punch. Let's see if this works out for him. Also, it was a defensive move to make sure that grass type moves didn't do too crazy much damage into it. Of course that was a crit, because that's how that works. Going for a shelter with the Goodra to boost up its defenses. It is dangerous to go ahead and do that to belly drum. You do not have much HP. But a citrus berry? Look at that. Restores a bit of HP. Syrup Bomb goes into Ursaluna, which bulletproof drops. We will see that that actually pops up more often than not, because Platinum did not know that, and also didn't notice until later on. So smartly goes for the Protect heal. Let's see if we call that. Goes for the Life Dew over, the Goodra goes into the Life Dew over into the Ursaluna spot to be able to get it too close to maximum HP, but not quite enough. Obviously protecting there with the Meowscarada. And Platinum sets up a Reflect, making physical moves do significantly less damage. That was very clutch. We will see what they decide to do. He's already +2. Body presses could potentially do a decent bit of damage. Is he going to go to the pure grass type right now after Flower Trick? Aha! A U-turn gets popped out. We will see what Pokemon he switches in that's potentially going to take a lot of damage. Unless he decides to switch in, I don't know, a ghost type or something. Let us find out. Oh, look! He called it. The body press goes into the ghost type. And so does the Drain Punch. That was a misplay on Gummy's spot, and a very good read, a very good call on Plat's spot. And obviously Plat didn't realize that the bulletproof would drop all bomb and ball moves. So now we are sitting here wondering, is he going to terrestrialize? What is going on? What is going through Gummy's head? He has not done well to this point. He hasn't taken too much damage, but he hasn't taken any momentum. Is he gonna go for the shelter, or is he gonna go for the Dragon Tail? Is he gonna go for the Life Dew? He goes for the... No, he doesn't. He is deciding. Obviously, I'm doing this commentary on the spot, because I'm trying to rush out these videos, and sorry if the quality is bad because of that. He ultimately does decide to go for the Life Dew. Dazzling Gleam into both of these as Gummy barely survives. Life Dew, which was really clutch to keep Ursaluna alive for just that little tiny bit much longer. And let's see where the Drain Punch lands into. Of course it's going to land into your boy's Dipplin. Click at the button there. I could not see my screen for a second. I do apologize, people. Syrup Bomb into the Hisui and Goodra does not do a lot of damage, but now its speed is going to fall continuously for the next 3 turns, or it's just fallen for 3 turns in a row. I can't remember how it works. Either way, Hisui and Goodra is that much slower. Are we going to go with the Earthquake in hopes that Goodra does not die? And also, we're going to go into Life Dew to replace the HP that will be taken out. Let us find out. Gummy survives. Goes for the Earthquake. And Goodra is gone due to potentially a critical hit. Let us find out. No, it was not a critical hit. That just did a poop ton of damage because Gummy forgot that he used Belly Drum. He is +6. There is no way that Goodra was going to survive that. But somehow the Dipplin did. But Dipplin called its own shot with the recover. We are going to see Sneasel come in. Sneasel can be dangerous, but so can Maushold. So we're going to see how they decide to do this. We're going to go into Drain Punch into the Maushold, or are we not? Are we going to go into Thunder Punch? What is going on? He's going to go into with a Drain Punch, and we are going to potentially use Dial Claw on the Dipplin. On the Dipplin? No! What is he thinking? What was... Oh, he was thinking maybe a switch. But either way, it does not matter because this very beautiful shiny Hisuian, it's not a Hisuian Sneasel, it's just a Sneasel, dies to the Population Bomb. Oh, so sad. But into the Maushold is a Drain Punch, which will knock it out and restore the HP by a significant amount. So, both sides of the field have taken KOs this turn. Is there going to be another KO? No, it is not going to be another KO. The Reflect has worn off. Let's see what happens. This Hisuian Arcanine comes out, and on the other side, of course, the Meowscarada is going to come out. This is getting down to the wire. Each side have 2 Pokemon, and each side has 1 Pokemon damaged. Gummy obviously is damaged the most. Now he has to make a decision of, is he going to protect? Is Plat going to call the double? What exactly will happen? Will Gummy just die regardless? More to tell, more to find out. Is he going to attempt to pick off the Pokemon that is across with an extreme speed priority called Meowscarada? Does he have enough power to do that? I, as the commentator, do not think he does. I do not know fully what was his thought process behind that calculation. And of course it does not pick up the kill, which will allow Stella to turn into a Dark type and not KO the Ursaluna. Ursaluna uses Drain Punch into the Meowscarada, who takes a super effective hit after using Knockoff, transforming into the Dark type. As Gummy gets a little bit more HP back, that Drain Punch would have most likely KO'd on its own. Dragon Pulse into the Ursaluna spot, and Ursaluna is taken out of commission. That +6 attack would no longer rear its ugly head. So let's see what happens with the remaining turns. We have a almost fully powered Hisuian Arcanine versus a Dipplin, who is a defensive monster house who can recover off HP. He is deciding, I don't know why he's hovering over extreme speed. You don't need priority to be faster. What is going on inside of your head? Also, you are worried about recoil. I do understand this because I do believe you do not have Rockhead. And Recover is going to recover up a bit of HP. Maybe that was a misplay. Maybe you should have gone with the fully powered Flare Blitz. Now you're stuck in a corner. You have to go for the Flare Blitz and hope for a crit. And let's find out. I don't think that Flare Blitz would have taken out round 1. Oh, but he gets the Lucky Bone. This does not look good as he continues to lose HP. Dipplin sets up that Reflect, which is going to reduce the damage coming in, but he's going to be taking residual damage with Born. It looks like Platinum has this with Dipplin. Let's see how much this Flare Blitz can do. We are hoping on a crit. And, oh, no crit lands into the Dipplin. Dipplin is going to be able to recover off some HP to continue its vitality as the Hisuian Arcanine continues to lose HP due to recoil. It looks like this Hisuian Arcanine is not going to be able to pull this off unless he gets a lucky crit. He is hoping for a lucky crit. Or maybe is he going to go for the cheeky chance of the flinch? And let's see. As he loses HP, there is no flinch as Dipplin is able to recover even more HP. Bringing it almost to full, takes the residual in Born. I don't think Hisuian Arcanine is going to be able to come on top. He's got to hope for a crit and flinch. That is his only win con. I do not believe this is possible. This is insurmountable as it misses into the Dipplin spot, because that's the only spot on the field as he takes more damage. Dipplin is just standing there, really strong, really menacing as he goes into the Flare Blitz. He has to hope for a huge critical hit, but I don't think at this point he can survive. It is looking more grim and grim by the turns. He's losing too much HP, and Dipplin decides to say, I'm gonna go ahead and just take you out. And this round one is over with Plat taking it. Paldea over Hisui. That was a close one, a nail-biter. Questionable decisions by Gummy. Questionable decisions. Let's move into round two. Let's see how each of these teams switch up to counteract the others. Let's see how this goes. Will it be over in just 2 battles, or will it go to game 3? We have the Kitakamian Ursaluna, the Blood Moon Ursaluna is what it's called, and the Maushold, and we also have on this side big old Puff Daddy, the Overquill, and the Hisuian Electrode. Both of these guys are just designed to do a poop ton of damage all at once. Of course, Gummy fails to realize that Plat might have Protect. Rolo uses Rain Dance, which is very interesting. It's specifically to make this Overquill really fast and really strong. I'm shocked he did not go into the good old boy Maushold. He is expecting to be able to just chunk out these hits and survive, as he does survive. Let's see what he does. Turn 2. Why does he click Rain Dance? He misclicks there. He is going to go something. Seed Bomb, maybe? Oh, we're going to double into this Blood Moon Ursaluna spot, but unexpectedly, Plat decides that he's going to expect a double and go ahead and Terrasilize into the fighting type to reduce as much damage as possible, knowing that he could be taking some super effective hits. He goes for the priority Vacuum Wave to go ahead and try to chip off the Overquill. The Overquill survives barely, hits off a huge liquidation that is boosted by the rain, but does not quite do enough damage, and Seed Bomb is negligible. Maushold uses Encore into the spot of the Hisuian Electrode, thinking maybe it could outspeed it. I don't fully know what the idea behind that was, but this guy's locked into Seed Bomb. He's going to have to just hit this Maushold. That is all he can do. Will Puff Daddy be able to survive one more Vacuum Wave? He does not know. He's going to go ahead and hit Self-Destruct. Oh, but Platinum calls something fishy by using Protect Heal, minimizing the damage possible. And in this turn, could we see both Maushold and Rolo go out? No, we do not. We see the Overquill going out, and we see the Seed Bomb going into Maushold, taking Maushold out with an unnecessary crit, as Electrode survives this turn by the skin of its teeth that are formed in a frown. The Goodra or the Ursaluna. He is deciding, he does not know, he is panicking. What shall he do? He decides maybe to go with the Mule, or is he gonna go with the Goodra, who has really great survivability? He decides to go with the Hisuian Goodra with great survivability, as Platinum decides to bring out none other than the very strong moneymaker Pokemon of a name that I'm forgetting in this exact moment because I am an idiot. It's not Gimmighoul, but yeah, I am an idiot, and so am I an idiot during this battle because I realized I couldn't use anything other than Seed Bomb. We shall see how this battle goes. Is he going to go with Shelter to just boost up the defense as much as possible? But he doesn't really need to do that except for to boost Body plus his powers, and that is the decision he's going to make. Vacuum Wave is going to go into most likely the Electrode spot as it picks up the kill against the Electrode. Electrode is out of commission. Now we will see what this Pokemon... Oh! Goodra has avoided the attack from the not Gimmighoul. Gimmighoul's evolution that I am, for whatever reason, in this moment, frazzled, half asleep, forgetting its actual name. It doesn't help that those appears to be Chinese characters on the screen, preventing me from just reading the name, because why? I am purely an idiot. As he goes, let's see what... So, this turn is not looking good for Gummy. It is looking very good for Plat. But Gummy decides to attempt to potentially reduce as much damage as possible. Maybe expecting a fighting type move coming in. Focus Blast comes in and almost takes out, surviving on 3 HP, is the Hisuian Goodra. That is insane of a clutch. Normal Gym boosted. Whoa, that did a lot of damage, but this Citrus Berry isn't going to be able to recover enough. Let's see how much damage he can do with this one Drain Punch into the Ursaluna spot. It cannot take it out. Gummy is on his back leg. This does not look like it will be going to the next game. Let us continue to see what can potentially happen. Is he going to call and go for an Earthquake, knowing that that Goodra is not going to be able to survive? Vacuum Wave into the Goodra spot to go ahead and pick it off, and it looks like Gummy has made the right call with going in with an Earthquake, knowing that there won't be anything next to it that will be able to take a hit, and Focus Blast is blocked by Bulletproof. Did Platinum know that that was a thing? I don't think he did. I believe we had that discussion because he might have been molding. In this exact moment, though, I would be molding because I have taken significant damage on my Gimmighoul evolution. Why am I forgetting its name as a Baxcalibur comes out? Is he going to go with Drain Punch into the Baxcalibur spot to restore as much HP as possible to ensure livelihood against the Pokemon called the Gimmighoul's evolution? Why am I forgetting its name? What is wrong with me, people? Roast me in the comments section. Oh, he's going to go cheeky and go with the Earthquake. Oh no, he's not. He's going with the Drain Punch after all. This is going down to the minute. The 30-second timer is screaming in his ears, as it is screaming in our ears, and I am rambling on incoherently as the Focus Blast goes into, obviously, the spot. Is he spec'd? Is he choiced? I think that is what he is calling. This Drain Punch is going to do double damage now after the Glaive Rush. He survived barely and is able to restore his HP, and this Gimmighoul's evolution will not be able to do anything into this spot because of the ability Let's see if he just picks up the cheeky win with Earthquake. Of course he does, as Focus Blast continues to not be able to do anything. And that is a Game 2 victory ensured by Gummy against Plat. In between rounds, I'm going to look up what the evolution is. Let's see, Pokemon number 1000, Sarah B. It is called Gholdengo. Wow, I'm an idiot, guys. Make fun of me all day long. I completely forgot what Gholdengo's name was. This is terrible. This is a Game 3. This has been some interesting plays on both sides. Terrible calls by the commentator, which is myself, by the way. And if you didn't know, I'm Gummy. Haha. Obviously, you clicked on this video. So, we have a similar lead as to before. We're going to go in with the Rain Dance, expecting... Is he going to expect the Protect out of the Blood Moon or Saluna? What exactly do we think is going to go on here? Is he going to go bold and just call for something else to happen called a explosion? Ah, he calls the Protect. He remembers what Platinum likes to do turn 1. Go ahead and goes for that Rain Dance, which is going to make Overquill outspeed the Maushold, taking a huge liquidation but surviving as the Encore goes into Hisuian Electrode. Is he going to switch out this Electrode now that can only use Rain Dance? What is his goal? Does he move in with the Ostagudra holding the Bright Powder, by the way, which is a very mean move? He is not. I do not know why he values this of any other way. What exactly is his goal with this? Why is he not switching? This is a short-sighted move in part of Gummy, which is myself. Does he go ahead and go for self-destruct, knowing that this is completely open? Unless, does Platinum call the self-destruct? He does not. He calls in Palafin. Platinafin. You should nickname it that. Platinum. Platinafin. But he does call taking damage this turn by switching into the fighting type, expecting a huge liquidation. And we will see the self-destruct come out. How much damage will this do to Palafin? Will it take it out of commission? It will not. Rolo about dies, but Rolo might as well have been out of commission by this point anyway. Rolo uses Rain Dance, but it failed because look at the surroundings, people. Ah, yes, Platinum calls it and goes ahead and boosts that special attack and special defense, making this Blood Moon or Saluna that much more dangerous. Ostagudra or Deadfish, the Bascu Legion, is wondering what he is going to do. He is looking over his moves. He is wondering, can I do enough damage? Can I take these people out? He does not know. He is deciding. He is still deciding. Does it look like he's going to go with Deadfish or Ostagudra? The Hisuian Gudra. Oh, he makes a last-second decision into the Bascu Legion. Look at that beautiful shiny. He spent way too much time shiny hunting a bunch of alpha Pokemon. Seed Bomb, Rain Dance. Rain Dance is all he can do because, of course, he is Encored. Unless, yeah, he can only use Rain Dance because Encore hasn't ran out yet. Boom, boom, boom. Is he going to go into the huge damage with Wave Class? Is he going to go to the priority hit with Aqua Jet to take out the Palafin, even though most likely Palafin is going to switch out this turn? Is he going to Terra Waddle to do as much damage as possible to potentially take out the Moonpie Ursaluna? What is his goal with this turn? He does not know. Neither do I. Because I can't remember how this battle played out, other than the outcome, which I will not spoil at this point in the video. You have the timer ticking down. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and I don't even know what happened. He did that so quickly. He withdraws the Palafin. I believe he selected Last Respects, which was kind of short-sighted knowing that there's a mouse hold right there. Goes for the Protect. As nothing happens this turn on either side. That was a good switch by Platinum and a very short-sighted error by Gummy. He could have taken so much momentum that turn with a proper call-out, but alas, he did not. The Encore is still up. Gummy, there's another way to check that, but oh well. He is going to go maybe into the Wave Crash, into which spot? Which spot is going to be taking way too much damage? He goes into Aqua Jet. I cannot speak English. Takes out that mouse hold who should have honestly been taken out the last one. What was he thinking? Vacuum Wave is going to come into the Hisuian Electrode as it falls to its demise. It really didn't do much this battle except for set up the rain, which does help with the speed factor of this Basque Legion, whose 3D model looks quite epic, I might add. Hisuian Gudra, the Bright Powder holding annoying, very hard, high vitality dragon is going to sit there. Does he go Dragon Tail, or does he go Shelter, or does he go Body Press to just do a decent amount of damage? He goes to Shelter to go ahead and boost up that Body Press's damage and reduce damage coming in for potentially the Baxcalibur. The fastest Mon on the field right now, outside of priority, is he going to go with Last Respects, which is now boosted because a Pokemon has died, or is he going to take advantage of the rain and do as much damage still with Wave Crash? Vacuum Wave comes into the Hisuian Gudra, doing a nice chunk of damage because it is boosted with the Calm Mind, as Baxcalibur takes a good bit of damage. But then Glaive rushes, almost taking out the dead fish, making it actually dead. Dead fish is could potentially die this next turn due to a Vacuum Wave. There is not much that it can do, and it is no longer going to be the fastest on the field. Baxcalibur, I think at this moment, if I'm doing my head counts, is the fastest on the field. Life Dew, which could be kind of a waste because Deadfish is going to be dead this turn. There's no shot. That would be a waste of terrestrialization. What is Gummy even thinking at this moment? There's Aqua Jet right there. Come on, click it. Just pick up damage on either one. Oh my. You pick up the chip, Gummy! I know this is breaking the fourth wall. I'm angry at myself for making such bad decisions. I saw going into the Gudra. And Vacuum Wave going into the Gudra also. This is crazy that they view it as the biggest threat, as Last Respects goes into the Baxcalibur. This is not a missed turn, surprisingly, because I think the one who misplayed this turn was in fact surprisingly not Gummy. It was Platt. Really, both of them misplayed, but because of both of them misplaying, it worked out better for Gummy. But we will see as Palafin fully powered up Zero to Hero with a lot of HP missing comes out. We will see how much Aqua Jet can do to something coming in to take some damage. Palafin is by far the most dangerous one on the field right now, I believe. Why are we not going into it? But we will find out as he decides to go ahead and terrestrialize with the Aqua Jet. For Aqua Jet to do just that little tiny bit more damage. Let's see if it can pick up the KO against the Palafin to take this thing out of its commission to where it can cause no misery on the Gummy side, and it does not do enough damage. Vacuum Wave goes into which spot? None other than the Gudra, preventing any future life dues, and Palafin is going to most likely be able to finish this match off with a Wave Crash into the Basque Legion spot. An unnecessary critical hit. Potentially necessary. Honestly, I don't know. I believe it was unnecessary, but either way, it doesn't matter because none other than Platt takes this round. And the winner between Hisui and Paldea is Paldea. Paldea continues to destroy this tournament. Tune in next week, or later on this week, whenever I decide to upload the next one. Thank you, guys. Paldea is absolutely showing pure dominance, taking out Hisui and moving on to the next round. Hisui is no more, as it is in real life too, because it's in the past. But it's no more, thanks to Paldea. On to the next round. If you're sleepy, stay up. Welcome to Paldea versus Hoenn. Let's jump straight into this thing with a bit of Mochi Mochi mayhem. As Plat is continuing his dominance, both of these teams are actually made by Platinum. Paldea is being piloted by Gummy, leading the Palafin and the Mousehold versus the Salamence Pelipper lead. As we see, both of these teams are very powerful and have lots of synergy within each other. Which team shall become victorious and which team will be laid to rest? As Gummy continues to decide to make decisions of what shall he do with this Palafin and what shall he do with this Mousehold. These two teams were known to be heavy hitters. Going into this, we will see how this outcome will play out. The Annihilape comes in as Platinum goes ahead to use his Terastallization. As he terastallizes his Salamence that we know has Hydro Pump from earlier battles, he's going to terastallize into the Water type to get some extra damage output. But will it come to fruition? It appears that it will, as it does outspeed the Mousehold. Goes into that Mousehold spot, evaporating it with a Hydro Pump. Platinum continues to hit Hydro Pumps, never misses from Platinum's side of the field. Palafin, will it come back in or will Moonpie come out? Palafin is the one who comes out with that very strong superhero stance. Palafin can do damage, but neither of these two Pokemon across the field are really afraid of it at this moment. Annihilape, what will it do? Will it also terastallize? Will it bulk up? What exactly is its goal? By the way, I, as a commentator and as a content creator, want to just take a moment to applaud Platinum for his team building, as his teams did very successful in this tournament. I also want to applaud myself for choking on that first round pick, thinking that I was going to play mind games. That was such a terrible idea. Platinum withdraws the Salamence. Let's see what comes in its spot. Booty Holo, the Ludicolo. What a legendary nickname from this shiny, dancing fellow. As Gummy, as we saw before, is using his terastallization on his Annihilape to reduce damage from a potential Hurricane incoming to its slot. Let's see how Platinum plays around this as the Jet Punch goes into Booty Holo, barely doing any damage as the Hurricane goes into the Palafin slot and does a lot of damage, and Holy Orange Jesus strikes again with the confusion as Annihilape bulks up to make it be able to tank physical attacks more, but more importantly, boosting its physical attack in the process. Not a lot has happened in this game so far, but it looks like that Platinum has taken an early leg up, while Gummy is just sitting here with this Paldean squad, not really knowing what to do against this front. How will this battle turn out? Palafin is confused. As it hits itself in confusion, Holy Orange Jesus is on the side of Plat, helping him out in this battle. But that is the way that Pokemon fights go, and in reality, real-life fights go. You never know what's gonna come at you. As this Hurricane from the Pelipper takes out the Palafin, completely annihilating Annihilape's partner here, as Annihilape uses Rage Fist into the Booty Holo spot, taking it out as well. A trade for a trade. Pelipper and Annihilape are the only ones on the field alive, but Gummy only has the Blood Moon Ursaluna in the back, still alive. There appeared to have been a discussion on the field before deciding to send out his Pokemon, as this Blood Moon Ursaluna comes out against this Salamence, and Salamance's Intimidate is going to activate the Defiance ability, further boosting Annihilape's attack in the process. Blood Moon is susceptible to a super effective hit heal. What decision shall be made? And for the first time in the history of the world, Platinum has missed a Hydro Pump! Will this play in the favor of Gummy? But no, in the same turn, he gets a critical hit with Hurricane, redeeming himself as Annihilape has fallen. The Blood Moon Ursaluna has used a Calm Mind, boosting its special attack and special defense, but this might be too little too late, as it is fixing to take a super effective hit to the dome from both of these Pokemon across the field. Salamence using the Hydro Pump and hitting as per usual, going into this slot and taking out Blood Moon Ursaluna in one hit, bringing a Game 1 victory to Platinum's Hoenn squad. Platinum having the leg up going into Game 2 is very important. Going into Game 2 with a victory can build momentum and go ahead and shut down a match early. Is Hoenn going to upset Paldea? Platinum's number 2 overall pick in the draft. Camelop and Torkoal lead out, as Skeledirge and Maushold lead in. Torkoal's Drought is on the field, further boosting Fire-type attacks. This could play into Gummy's side of the field with Skeledirge, and it will of course play into Platinum's side of the field. Let's see what decisions will be made turn 1 to navigate this battle, as the sun is in effect. And these two teams have some synergy with it, but also not a lot of synergy with it. Gummy's call with the Skeledirge was very bold, but very smart, knowing that Platinum would not be bringing the Rain team. Platinum withdraws the Torkoal, potentially expecting a Population Bomb to come in, as Salamence is going to reduce the physical attack of Maushold and Skeledirge. It does not matter to Skeledirge though, as Gummy is going to terrestrialize somebody on his side of the field. It is of course going to be the Skeledirge into the Fairy type. This shiny Skeledirge with the Fairy Terra type looks quite luxurious, I might say. Maushold goes for the Population Bomb into the Salamence spot, but because of its reduced attack due to Intimidate, it is not doing a whole lot of damage. Oh? It does not matter. All 10 hit and Salamence is out. The Intimidate did not worry this Population Bomb user of the Maushold, as the Torch Song goes into the Camelop spot, further boosting the special attack of this Skeledirge, as it takes a decent chunk of damage from the Earth Power. Shiftry is going to come out in replacing that Torkoal, the Salamence, who has now passed. Maushold is still alive, still very fast. What decisions will be made by both of these competitors in this turn to change the tide of this battle. Platinum is going to terastallize the Shiftry into the Fire type to potentially reduce damage coming in and potentially boost up Weather Ball's power as he selects Weather Ball into the Skeletorch spot for neutral damage, but it is going to be base 100 and stab as it does quite a chunk of HP. Population Bomb goes into the Shiftry spot, and as we saw, oh my, it only does 2 hits. Terra Blast is going to go into the Shiftry spot, and it does an okay chunk, but not a lot because it is Fairy type, as holy cannoli, the eruption from the Camerupt takes out the Skeletorch and does a huge chunk to this Maushold. Gummy is now being put on his back leg in an awkward position, losing momentum. Platinum is gaining momentum. It is now even 3 versus 2, and each Pokemon are similarly damaged. Who will come out of this battle victorious? Will this be a Game 2 victory on Platinum's side to go ahead and shut this series up? Follow me from the Maushold spot to protect his partner. Solar Blade is going to absorb light and come out turn 1 into the Maushold spot due to the follow me, as Maushold takes this damage and dies. Shiftry is going to continue to lose a little bit of HP due to the Life Orb. Bulk Up comes out of the Annihilate to boost its defense and more importantly its physical attack, as this eruption is going to continue to hit pretty hard for a decent chunk due to the Camerupt's HP, which I believe is still at full. It is not at full, I did misspeak, I am such a bad announcer. Vacuum Wave could be potentially coming out from this Blood Moon Ursaluna spot. Vacuum Wave goes into the Shiftry to go ahead and take it out to further mitigate incoming damage, leaving just Camerupt on the field for this turn. Will it be able to take this Rage Fist? No, it will not. Rage Fist continuing to snowball in power, plus the Bulk Up allows Annihilate to take it out in one shot. Torkoal is all that remains on Platinum's side of the field at full HP. Will it be able to do anything against this Blood Moon Ursaluna and the weakened Annihilate? This battle has been great. Both teams have been trading blows. Neither team has made outright decisions that has really taken over this match. It has gone back and forth, as the Protect comes out from the Torkoal slot to take no damage from Rage Fist and the potential Blood Moon. The Blood Moon comes from Ursaluna, which I believe how Blood Moon works. This means Blood Moon will not be able to go into the Torkoal slot next turn because you cannot use it twice in a row, as we see on the screen. That was a very smart idea from Platinum to potentially reduce more damage. The Blood Moon Ursaluna uses Protect to reduce damage from this Torkoal, as Annihilate uses Rage Fist. Is it powered up enough to go ahead and take this Torkoal out in one shot? And it doesn't quite do it. It does a lot of damage, as Torkoal uses Body Press into the protected Blood Moon Ursaluna, hoping for a super effective KO. But since he protected, it did nothing. It does not look like Platinum has a leg to stand on. It looks like this match is going to be taken by Gummy and the Paldean squad. Gummy is piloting Platinum's Paldean squad, which is a really funny thing to say because of how this tournament has played out thus far, as Blood Moon Ursaluna stays alive, giving the victory to Gummy over Platinum. It is now 1-1 in this set. This final game 3 will determine who moves on in victory. Ah yes, Cassiopeia's theme, one of the greatest themes in all of Generation 9 and potentially all of Pokemon. The Shiftry Pelipper lead comes out on the Hoenn squad side for Platinum as the Maushold Annihilape lead comes out for Gummy's Paldean squad. These two teams, as stated many times before, have lots of synergy with each other, are very much so heavy hitters, but also have ways of mitigate that word that I cannot say in this moment, mitigating incoming damage, as Platinum decides to terastallize turn 1 the Shiftry into the Water type. As stated before, this is probably one of the first times we have seen this in this tournament. We are allowed to use multiple sets and switch them out in between battles, as this Terra Water Shiftry is going to have a lot of synergy with this particular team. Annihilape using Protect this turn, so does the Shiftry. As Maushold uses Population Bomb into the Porter John, will he be able to take this toilet out back to the pooper? Will it be done? Will it be a waste? As this Porter John is taken out, completely crushed. This Maushold has taken an important member out of the way in turn 1 as Platinum sends out Booty Holo, the Ludicolo. This turn 1 has shifted momentum onto Gummy's side of the field, which has not happened much within this tournament, as Paldean squad is showing how strong it is, as Hydro Pump goes into the Maushold slot, taking it out. Booty Holo is flexing its muscles, as the Water type Weather Ball that is boosted by the rain, of course, going into the Annihilape spot, but not doing enough, as Shiftry loses HP from the Life Orb. Rage Fist is going to be boosted up enough to be able to take out this Shiftry. Gummy takes another life in turn 2. Platinum is going to be on his back foot in an awkward position in a 2v3. Can he clutch it out for Hoenn to continue, or will Hoenn be sent home? Baxcalibur comes out, and so does Milotic across the field. This theme perfectly encapsulates the epicness of this Game 3 battle. Baxcalibur looking bald as ever, but with that amazing beard, it is looking dapper as ever. As Annihilape hits the Protect across the field, Hydro Pump goes into the protected Annihilape, and Baxcalibur's Glaive Rush goes into the Booty Holo, and Booty Holo is not going to be able to clinch this one out, as Booty Holo falls to the ground. Milotic uses Blizzard, which is not going to do much into the Baxcalibur. It does almost half. Milotic is now Burned, which is going to make its defensive capabilities a bit higher. But will this be enough for Milotic to be able to withstand the onslaught of moves coming its direction, as the Rage Fist goes into the Milotic spot, doing a decent chunk of damage as Annihilape continues to lose HP, and Glaive Rush goes into the Milotic, not doing quite enough to take it out. The Hydro Pump, as ever, always hitting into the Annihilape spot, taking it out, leaving just Baxcalibur and Milotic on the field. But I do not believe, based on the speed, that Milotic will be able to live. And I completely forgot, as an announcer, that there was a Blood Moon Ursaluna in the back. It does appear that Gummy is going to be able to take the victory here. What does Milotic have up its sleeves for the rest of this battle. Victory is imminent for this Paldean squad as Protect comes out from the Baxcalibur spot. As so does it come out from the Blood Moon Ursaluna spot. As the Hydro Pump goes into the Protect, not doing any damage because that's how the mechanic works. And the Born damage is going to take out the Milotic as this Paldean squad remains victorious, taking 2 in a row to finish out this set 2-1. Paldea is moving on. Paldea is moving on to the finals. I do not know if the video has been uploaded for the other side of the semifinals, so I will not spoil who their opponent will be. But we shall see soon enough. Thank you for watching and stay tuned in. Click above this Snorlax to be able to watch more of this Paldean tournament. It is not a Paldean tournament. It does appear to be a Paldean tournament at this moment, though, because of their dominance. Click more to see more of the Regional King format. Paldea continues its dominance in this semi-final round, and we are going to be seeing the next round of the semi-finals being the last match of the semi-finals, and I can't even English language today. But yeah, Paldea just continues its dominance as per usual. Not even Hoenn's amazing synergy of weather could stop the dominance of Paldea. More continuing. Please, if you are asleep at this point, you're asleep, so just stay asleep. Just hopefully it's autoplay the rest of my videos. Get them views up, trying to get that partner program, if you get what I mean. On to the next round. Welcome to another Regional King format video. This is Unova versus Kalos. We're jumping straight into this thing because I almost forgot to record the battle video. But let's go with this crisp Generation 5 theme behind us. As we got Amogus and Chandelure versus Klefki and Sylveon. These are both Platinum's teams. I have to pilot one of them because obvious reasons. One of us has to pilot the other. But let's see how this goes. A good Generation 5 versus Generation 6 matchup. The last of the 2D era versus the first of the 3D era. Let's see who comes out on top. Does it go to Game 3? Is it over in 2? The switcheroo from Klefki goes into Chandelure. Klefki taking the Life Orb as Fire Blast goes into Sylveon, who's going to set up a Calm Mind, boosting that special attack and special defense, adding to its survivability as Amogus goes for the Spore into the Sylveon slot, making that Sylveon unable to do anything. I have went brain dead for a moment. Sorry for the gap in talking there. Both of these teams are built well. I want to give kudos to Platinum. He is a great team builder. Yes, both of these teams are built well, but only one comes up out on top. Let's see how the rest of this match plays out, as Gummy and Plat are still making decisions. Most likely just Gummy. Gummy is taking a long time to decide here. Gummy is potentially really afraid of that Sylveon, or expecting the Sylveon to switch, which doesn't happen. As the Thunder Wave misses, Sylveon sits there like a lump on a log, as Giga Drain restores a little bit of HP from Amogus, and the Psychic goes into the Sylveon, which is not going to do much damage at all, very negligible. Amogus is going to use a move, but it doesn't know what, as that was very quick. Look at Klefki, right front and center. That's the only time you're going to really see it close up. Klefki uses Switcheroo to give the Life Orb to Amogus, as it loses the Black Sludge recovery, and being a Steel type, it's not going to be poisoned. Very, very smart idea, as Clear Smog goes into Sylveon. It's going to do a little bit of extra damage because of that Life Orb, and those stat changes from the Calm Mind are gone now as the Fire Blast goes into the Sylveon to take it out. Crazy set of moves right there. This Chandelure is very beautiful to look at. I really love how they improved the 3D models in this game. Scarlet and Violet for that matter. As the Noivern comes out, this team can't really do a whole lot to this Noivern so long as it's not terrestrialized. As of this moment, it appears to it cannot. Let's see how Gummy plays into the strengths of this team to be able to potentially fight through that. Is he going to take on this Klefki? Who knows? Or is he going to try to take out this Noivern? Is he going to try to switch? We're about to find out. We're about to find out. Noivern uses a Hurricane as it does not connect into the Amogus. It is really funny how often Plat misses Hurricanes, but on the Kovor's other end, hits Hydro Pumps like no other, as the Flame Body burns the Klefki, and Spore lands into the Noivern spot, rendering it useless. Is it going to take the same fate as Sylveon before it? It appears to be so, as it does a butt ton of damage and gets the special defense drop. This is not looking good for Platinum. This looks like it's going to be a quick battle victory, but we still have a lot of battle left. But right now, Platinum is on his back foot, so to speak. What does Platinum have in the back that has not been revealed yet? We do not know. Will it be able to help him? Or is it really not going to be able to do any damage? Is Platinum just going to leave that Noivern out to sack it? It appears that that was his plan. Maybe hoping for the turn 1 wake up. As the Klefki goes in with what appeared to be foul play, I wasn't paying attention. Noivern is going to take a Psychic, and it is going to die. It is smart on a Gummy to go with Psychic there, specifically to cover his bases because he doesn't know what's in back. He's probably predicting a Hawlucha in the back, which is why he went with Psychic. Hoping is not a word. I don't know why I've said that twice. Hoping, oh, it would have been a Greninja. That would have been a bad switch, but, or a good switch on Plat, but bad read on Gummy. This Greninja can do a lot of damage, not necessarily to the Amogus, but definitely to the Chandelure. It can take it out very easily. What is he thinking? Why? Is he reading that he... Oh, he's reading that he's going to live and change type here. Thunder Wave goes into the Amogus, lowering its speed and potentially immobilizing it. Very good call there by Plat. Greninja uses Ice Beam, and it's going to change its type. Look at that. Look at that. This is a really good call by Gummy, although Fire Blast would have just done more damage to begin with. But taking out half of the health of Greninja, expecting that it was going to change type, but didn't know if it was going to change type to water or ice. That was an interesting decision there, but really Shadow Ball, well, why did he specifically use Psych? That was kind of dumb. I don't know what he was thinking, to be honest. Maybe it was a misclick. What was Gummy thinking? I don't know. But at this point, it doesn't matter. It's not really much of a misplay considering what is still on the field, as the Terrestrialization comes out with Greninja. It is now going to get a boost on those Water-type moves, and is going to move faster. Amogus is not moving fast whatsoever, and obviously, or not moving at all whatsoever due to the paralysis as it dies to an ice beam. Foul play comes out from the Klefki, does not do enough into the Chandelure as Chandelure uses Shadow Ball into the Greninja slot. Will Greninja survive? It does not. It takes a critical hit. Honestly, I don't think that would have mattered, but Greninja is now taken out. Chandelure is now going to be facing simply this Klefki. This seems to be, or am I not paying attention? Is there something else left in the back? I think I'm not paying attention. Surely, right? No, yeah. Yeah, there's nothing left in the back. Volcarona is going to use Protect as a Shadow Ball is going to land into the Klefki spot. Or it's not, because Klefki is also going to be using Protect. Volcarona uses Protect also, for whatever reason, to be honest. I honestly don't know. Just to be funny, I guess. Yes. Restoring HP with the Black Sludge. Wait. How did it restore HP with the Black Sludge? That's an interesting interaction. Because of the fact of the matter that it's not being poisoned by the Black Sludge by default? Or was it because it was set to heal? I've never seen that interaction before until just now, and I didn't notice it during all battles. That was confusing. Gummy takes the victory, or specifically Unova takes the victory within round 1. Round 2 comes out as we hear In's battle theme behind us, bumping and jiving as the Talonflame and Florges lead that we've seen before from Platinum is out. Such a great theme, such a great bop, such a great character arc. Wonderful games. Unova are wonderful games. We'll see what happens in the future with potential remakes that may or may not have already been announced by the time this video comes out. Yes. Talonflame uses Tailwind, Gale Wing's ability boosting that's priority, and then Grassy Terrain is set via the Florges. Chandelure is going to use Calm Mind, knowing that it is not going to be hit this turn, might as well boost its damage output in the long term. Amogus is going to use Spore into the Talonflame, making Talonflame completely useless right now. Does Gummy make a hard read? Or does he go the safe route? Does he cover all of his bases? What is his plan? What is his thought process behind this move? Is he calling that Adhalucha is going to come out? It looks like it's going to come out, but he called the wrong spot. Although, choosing to use Clear Smog into the Hawlucha spot is actually not a bad idea. It's going to render that defense buff useless, although against special attackers it's not really useful anyway. But Psychic goes into the Talonflame spot, as we saw before, almost taking it out and getting the useless Spadef drop. Wow, RNG has been on Gummy's side. Clear Smog goes into the Unburdened Hawlucha. I don't think that would take out the Unburdened boost. I don't know, to be honest with you. Spore is potentially going into the Hawlucha, as we have just saw. I said that too early. What is he going to do? Is he going to attempt to take out this Hawlucha that can do serious damage with Acrobatics, as it does not hold a current item, as Terastallization is going to go up into the Hawlucha spot, into the Dark type, potentially expecting a Psychic. Terra Blast, which is going to be Terra Dark, which is going to be super effective into the Chandelure spot. It's going to do a lot of damage, and it does a lot of damage as Chandelure has fainted is inactive, out of play. And the Talonflame wakes up, uses a Flare Blitz into the Amogus. It doesn't quite take it out, doesn't get a Born, takes the recoil damage and takes itself out, but does much needed damage into the Amogus as Spore lands into the Hawlucha, rendering it useless. It is a very eepy, very eepy. It is one step forward, but 2 steps back for Plat in this matchup. Which Pokemon is he going? Is Gummy going to send out? Is he going to go full force with this Volcarona, which is such a nice powerhouse? By the way, Volcarona, candidly, is one of my favorite designs. That and Slitherwing. Iron Moth isn't too bad either. Florges comes out, full HP, ready to do some damage. As the Volcarona comes out, where is this Giga Drain going to land into? Or the Spore? Is he going to go to try to render Florges useless also? This is interesting. Decisions are being made by Gummy as he is changing his moves around. Amogus, Amogus, Amogusussy. All great names for such a wonderful Pokemon. Uses the Rage Powder to make sure that Volcarona is safe. Hawlucha is still asleep. It is still very eepy. Pollen Puff goes into the Amogus. Cannot really take it out as Bug Buzz goes into the Hawlucha, taking it out because it is now weak to such a move. This turn did not bode well for Platinum. Amogus is restoring a little tiny bit of HP. Upon restoring a little tiny bit of HP between the grass and the Black Sludge, as the Tailwind is petering out, Klefki comes out. Can Klefki and Florges turn this battle around for Platinum, or will this be a sweep by Gummy with Platinum's Unova team? Oh, the hilarity. Rage Powder into with the Amogus to make sure that Volcarona stays alive and healthy for as long as possible. The switcheroo happens, but potentially to the useless Pokemon that it's not really going to matter with because it's almost dead anyway. Fiery Dance is going to go into the Klefki spot, taking it out in one hit as the special attack rises of the Volcarona, making it that much more dangerous. Chilling Water is going to go into the Amogus. It's not going to do a lot of damage. It is a critical hit. That was a critical hit. That is crazy. Rage Powder is such an OP move. Redirection is so great strategically. What is Gummy thinking looking at Platinum's Amogus here? Oh, that's right. There was a discussion of what Lagging Tail did, I believe, and so he was describing that to him. But decisions are being made of what move to use. Does he protect his partner with Rage Powder? Or does he use Spore to try to render the Florges useless? Or does he go with Clear Smog to do a lot of damage? Cough. Decisions are being made. Decisions are still being made. Fiery Dance doesn't always boost special attack, to my knowledge, but it does it often. I can't remember the rate. Maybe 50%? I don't know. Amogus became the center of attention. Fiery Dance goes into the Florges spot, doing quite a bit of damage. No special attack buff here. Pollen Puff goes into the Amogus slot again, not doing a lot of damage, but restoring some in the process. Amogus is also restoring HP. Rage Powder to continue to protect his partner as Fiery Dance is going to go again into the Florges spot. Will Florges be able to take out the Amogus this turn as it continues to take chip damage, and Volcarona continues to raise its special attack? Amogus is living on 1 HP! 1 HP, look at that! Look at that photograph. It is a crazy photograph. Rage Powder again, the most annoying, spammable support move in the game as Fiery Dance goes into the Florges for the final time, getting the KO. This is game, set, match point, done, all of it in one sitting. Gummy does not move on because this is Platinum's team. Platinum's moving on regardless. But Unova shows its true strength and moves on. As always, thank you for watching. Continue to watch more of these videos. If you haven't caught up to the tournament yet to this point, go back and watch some previous ones. Linked above this funny photo of the Snorlax is the playlist and the latest video uploaded to the Regional King format. Thank you, as always. Thanks for watching. I don't know how to end this. This is awkward. Deuces. What a shocking upset by Unova. Unova is going to the finals against Paldea in Season 1 of Regional King. I cannot believe it. If you're still tuned in at this point, I'm shocked I haven't said it before, but obviously this is not sponsored. I have not amassed such success to this point. To be at that point, I hope this video helps me get there. But if not, drop a comment down below. Regardless, drop a comment down below. What do you think of it so far? Drop a like, all that kind of jazz. Hit subscribe. Now, guys, this is where we're going to get serious here for a little bit. I realize this is a long video, and part of the motivation of making this video is hopefully people might fall asleep to it. So if you are awake right now, you're listening in headphones or something, listen in real quick right now. You're going to want to turn your volume all the way down, if not mute your volume, for about the next, 5-10 seconds. When it cues into the next battle video, you'll be good. Hopefully editing Gummy will remember to put a little warning on the screen. But if you're just listening audio, just go ahead and mute it. Go ahead and mute it, and just look down at your phone, your TV, whatever you're watching this with, to where you can see when the next battle video starts, because this is for the people that have fallen asleep. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wake up! Alright, next round. Hey, good morning, guys. Here's the finals! Welcome to the finals of the Regional King format. This is Paldea versus Unova. Unova is going to be piloted by Gummy, and Paldea is going to be piloted by none other than the Master Team Builder, Platinum. Annihilape and Mousehold lead the Platinum squad, as the face of the Unova squad is Among Us and Chandelure. Sorry, I said the nickname. Both of these teams were made by Platinum, as Gummy's teams have faltered in previous rounds of the tournament. So a clause was enacted to make this interesting, to, well, it's still actually a battle that we just coin flip, just decide who's gonna pilot who. So, Annihilape uses Protect, turn 1. And Mousehold uses Population Bomb into the Among Us, landing a nice extra little critical hit, I might add. And continuing to take more damage into this Among Us, as the Among Us has been taken out. As it was hit 8 times, Mousehold is dangerous as the Chandelure attacks into the protected Annihilape. This turn 1 has gone in the favor of Platinum's Paldean squad. It has taken a life. It is now 3 versus 4. Can Gummy get off of his back leg and get out of this awkward positioning? As we have seen earlier on in the tournament that both Chandelure and Volcarona are very great team members. As Platinum sends out Moonpie, the Blood Moon Ursaluna, Volcarona is hitting that Protect. Mousehold is using Follow Me to reduce damage into the Blood Moon Ursaluna spot, as Psychic goes into the Mousehold, doing quite a nice chunk of damage, but not enough to take it out, as Life Orb does some chip into Chandelure. Generation 5 had some amazing designs, as we will potentially be seeing within a remake that may or may not have already been announced by this video coming out. I doubt it, because I believe there was a Generation 2 remake which will be announced, but you probably already know that, because it's already been out, or at least announced. Encore goes into the Volcarona spot, forcing it to use Protect, which is going to fail. Will its Blood Moon Ursaluna take advantage of this as Psychic goes into the Maushold to take it out of commission? It can no longer do anything for the rest of this individual battle, as the Platinum takes advantage of knowing that no more damage is going to be coming into this Blood Moon Ursaluna, goes ahead and sets up that Calm Mind to be able to do extra damage coming off of this monstrous special attack. Palafin comes out for Platinum. This is still early on in Game 1. Game 1 could go either way, but it does appear that Platinum does have the leg up in this individual match. Does Gummy have it in him to figure out the right strategy to be able to force through this? Platinum is withdrawing the Palafin to where it can go from 0 to hero. Out comes the Annihilate. Will Annihilate get doubled into? Of course not, because the Protect is still having to come out from the Volcarona due to Encore. Chandelure uses a full-powered Fire Blast into the Annihilate spot, almost taking it out, but quite not enough to do enough damage, as Blood Moon uses Blood Moon into the Volcarona spot using Protect. That did not fail. Does Gummy go ahead and switch this Volcarona out, knowing it cannot do much more? This music is banging. It is one of my favorite themes in all of the series. I wish it was actually selectable in actual battles, but we shall bop our heads to it in the meantime, doing the possessed chicken dance. That's right. Go ahead, drop a comment down below if you like this theme and if you bop to it every time it plays, as decisions are still being made by both of these competitors. One wrong move can switch the tide, as 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds go. Volcarona is going to be switched out, knowing it cannot do anything this turn. Hydreigon comes out. It is potentially going to be taking a lot of damage, as Blood Moon Ursaluna uses Protect. Does Chandelure smartly attack the Annihilate? It does, and Annihilate has been annihilated by this Chandelure. Gummy is picking back up momentum in this Game 1. It does appear that Platinum is now the one on his awkward back leg, but there is still a lot of firepower on Platinum's side of the field. Man, this is a bop. I love it. This has been an exhilarating series. Unova has come a long way. Unova was probably not expected to do too great, but it has done very phenomenal coming into this finals round, and Paldea has held its own weight, showing that it, being the newest region, has the most firepower at its disposal. Gummy is frantically wondering what decision must be made, not knowing what Platinum is going to do this turn, as Gummy pulls out Terastallization and terastallizes his Hydreigon into the Dark type. We'll see if this does benefit him or if it does nothing, as Jet Punch goes into the Chandelure, taking it out of commission. No longer a threat. Hydreigon uses the Dragon Pulse into the Palafin spot and is not going to do enough damage, as Moonpie uses Blood Moon with a boosted normal type gym. This is going to take out the Hydreigon in one hit. Platinum has reversed the momentum. Platinum having two practically fully powered Mons up against this singular Volcarona has taken all that he needs for the match. It appears that Gummy does not have a win con. It appears that Platinum is going to take this match. But for statistical keeping purposes, we always choose to play out the matches. As Palafin is being terrestrialized into the water type to do extra damage with a potential jet punch coming into the face of this very beautiful bug, the Volcarona. Volcarona takes this jet punch to the face and falters. We are going to be moving on to game 2 of Paldea versus Unova. Paldea is flexing its very strong muscles, showing how much of a heavy lifter it is in this competition, easily decimating all opponents in its wake. What will come out of this round 2? Will it be a swift victory from Paldea, or will Unova be able to chip a victory? We may not know, as the Champion Iris battle theme is in the background. Out comes Maushold and Espathra on Paldea's side. We haven't seen much of Espathra in this tournament, as I fumbled through that name, and the Among Us Volcarona lead yet again comes out. Comment down below what your favorite champion in the series was, if you would like to. I'm trying to stall for time. This Espathra can do many tricks, and as we have seen, this Maushold is quite dangerous, as Espathra goes to protect turn 1 to mitigate damage coming in, and Maushold uses Taunt into the Amoonguss to mitigate its abilities to be able to help in support, as Volcarona uses Fiery Dance that lands a critical hit into the Maushold. Will it also boost the special attack of this Volcarona? It appears that it is not going to, and Among Us cannot use Spore due to the previous taunt, as Espathra gets a speed boost. This Maushold taken out of commission turn 1 mitigates a whole lot of damage that could be coming from future potential population bombs. As the Blood Moon Ursaluna comes out in its spot, it is a 3v4, and both of these Pokemon on Gummy's side, on the Unovan squad, are fully healthy, but Amoonguss cannot use supporting moves. Decisions are being made by both of the competitors. What decision will be made that can potentially turn the tide of this battle for either side? Unova, the underdogs in this matchup, all the way hailing from Generation 5, 4 generations prior, versus this amazing Generation 9 Paldea team, as Among Us is switched out into the Bishop, who's going to be holding the Eviolite. It is very defensive, as the Blood Moon Ursaluna hits the Protect. And Espathra uses the Baton Pass, meaning the previously gained speed from Speed Boost will be transferred to another Pokemon that could potentially greatly benefit from being very fast. And it is going to be the Baxcalibur, who is very strong, and it is going to take this Fire-type move, and depending on the ability, it might get a boost to its attack. It does. Thermal Exchange does activate. This Baxcalibur is now going to be very scary, as it has heightened attack and speed. Baxcalibur can really snowball and take out all of Gummy's team, pending on what happens for the rest of this battle, as Platinum is going to terrestrialize the Blood Moon Ursaluna into the Fighting type to mitigate potential damage coming in and to potentially boost up the power of Priority Vacuum Wave, as Vacuum Wave is going to come out into the Bisharp at 4 times super effective. It still cannot take it out in one hit, as Fiery Dance is going to outspeed and take out that Baxcalibur before it can do any damage with its heightened attack and heightened speed. This is a shock, as Night Slash goes in to barely do any damage into the Blood Moon Ursaluna. Espathra comes back out. It does appear that Gummy has made some really good decisions. He is in strong standing through this battle. We still have a lot of battle left though. Platinum's team can still figure out a way to come out on top. Bisharp is very, very bulky, but it will not be able to withstand much more going forward, as Espathra protects itself and the Vacuum Wave goes into none other than the Bisharp spot to go ahead and take it out, picking it off. This Blood Moon Ursaluna is flexing its muscles all over the field as Fiery Dance goes into the protected Espathra, wasting a Torn on Gummy's side, and Espathra gets yet another speed boost. Among Us comes out, and Among Us can now use support moves again since it has been switched out. I broke my pin. This is dangerous. Ah, yes. Rage Powder comes out from the Among Us slot, so all damage coming in will only be able to hit Among Us unless it is taken out in one hit by this Lumina Crash, and it is not because of how bulky it is, but its special defense has been lowered, which is going to play into the abilities of the Blood Moon Ursaluna, as Espathra is almost taken out by Volcarona's Fiery Dance. As Volcarona boosts its special attack, Blood Moon Ursaluna is going to take out this Among Us with the normal gem boosted Blood Moon. Espathra healing a little tiny bit of damage due to its leftovers and getting yet another speed boost. Can this team snowball, or will Gummy's team hold strong? What decisions are being made by these competitors? How will this next turn play out? Espathra uses Protect yet again. And so does the Blood Moon Ursaluna. And calling his shot, Volcarona obviously does not do any damage with the Fiery Dance, but calling his shot, knowing that this could potentially be the turn, Nasty Plot goes up from the Hydreigon, making its future attacks do significantly more damage. Espathra is continuing to gain speed. Knowing that Protect will not be able to come out on the opposing side of the field, what decisions will be made by Gummy and Plat to mitigate the rest of this battle? It does appear that they are both on equal footing, as Gummy goes ahead and pulls out that Terastallization into the Hydreigon spot, making it a mono Dark type and boosting potential Dark type attacks for the rest of the battle. Vacuum Wave is going to go into the Hydreigon spot, but it does not quite do enough, Lumina Crash is going to go into the Volcarona spot, not doing much damage, but harshly dropping that special defense as Fiery Dance is going to go into the Blood Moon Ursaluna spot, taking it out in one shot, and getting a special attack boost in the process, although that special attack boost at this point in the battle is probably null and not needed. Will this Espathra be able to hold on? It will not! It will not dodge the Heat Wave as Espathra falls down! Game 2 is won by this Unova squad piloted by Gummy. We are going into Game 3 in the finals. This is Paldea versus Unova. Which team will come out victorious to be able to be crowned as the Regional King? As the music quells and the next battle starts, Gummy versus Platinum. This is the final. Platinum leads with Palafin and Mousehold, and Volcarona and Among Us comes out. These two teams have great synergy and have great heavy hitters on both sides. Platinum withdraws and brings out the Blood Moon Ursaluna as Population Bomb goes into the Among Us slot. And this Among Us is going to be taken out by this Mousehold. Among Us is no longer a threat. That is a big take, turn 1, as this Fiery Dance is going to go into the Mousehold slot, not doing quite enough to take it out, and no extra boost to its special attack. Conkeldor is going to come out on Gummy's side of the field. Staring there menacingly as Platinum decides to use up his terrestrialization on this second turn of the battle. Fighting type Blood Moon Ursaluna is very great defensively, and it helps boosts the power of the vacuum waves. Population Bomb is going to go into the Volcarona spot as it only hits twice. Fiery Dance is going to come out into the Mousehold, chipping it out of commission as it does not get a special attack boost. Moon Pie, the Blood Moon Ursaluna, is going to use Blood Moon that is boosted by the normal gen yet again to go ahead and take this Conkeldor out of commission. 2 turns and 2 Pokemon taken out on the Unovan side of the field, putting the Unovan squad on its back legs. Will Gummy be able to pull this out and clutch it out, or will Paldea remain victorious and take its championship? This Hydreigon can potentially do a lot of damage, but also based on what is on the field, it can definitely receive a lot of damage. Does Gummy Squad have enough in it to be able to turn the tides, or has enough damage been done that it doesn't matter as Volcarona takes a Jet Punch to the face and is taken out of commission, but luckily lands a Flame Body Born? Will that be enough to mitigate future damage to potentially be able to clutch this one out, as Vacuum Wave is going to come out of the Blood Moon Ursaluna into the Hydreigon, doing right at half damage, as Dragon Pulse goes into the Palafin and does also right at half damage, taking the Born Chip. It does not appear that Hydreigon is going to be able to survive past this turn. It appears that Paldea, after this long tournament, is going to be able to take its victory. Platinum withdraws the Palafin bringing in the Goldango, as we have learned its name, as Vacuum Wave is going to go into the Hydreigon. Will this clinch the championship? Not at this moment, as Hydreigon lives on exactly 5 HP. Heat Wave goes into both of these slots and does not do enough damage. Picks up an extra Born for extra chip, but I'm afraid this is too far, too little, too late. This Hydreigon will not be able to do anything, as it's going to take a priority Vacuum Wave to all 3 of its domes as it falls. It has faltered, and this championship is going to be hoisted up by the Paldean squad. Congratulations to Paldea, the regional king. Tune in for the next video, as we will do an all-star battle. Wow, what a dominant performance by none other than Paldea to take home the victory for Season 1 of Regional King. This was an amazing season. Hats off to Plat for absolutely dusting my butt the entire tournament, every which way. It was great. Also, everybody, try to get out into the wilderness. Awesome. Just often. I don't know why I said awesome there. I can't English today. But yeah, it's real beautiful outside. Hold on one second. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, just try to get out and enjoy what it's like to be outside more often. Thank you for tuning into this very, very stinking long video. I'm going to end it off via showing the All-Star game that we kind of impromptu did for the heck of it. I'm going to be working on a season for Season 2. Season 2 is already out as far as the individual battle videos. Season 1 also is. If you just want to go back to watch the individual battle videos, you can. There's a playlist in the description for that. There's a playlist in the description for Season 2. All of it in codes. I'll put it everywhere I can. But thank you for tuning in. This has been a wonderful experience. This is really the brainchild of both Plat and I, of coming up with just simply how do we determine what the best region is, and let's do it VGC style. Let's host a tournament. As always, guys, thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, all that stupid stuff. Comment what your favorite parts of the tournament were. Comment if I woke you up also. Sorry about that, if that's the case. But yeah, be awesome, guys. Show some love in the comments. Show some love to the people you know. Just be stinking amazing. So, all right, I'm gonna head on out of here. So, this is gonna be fun getting out of here. I'm sure I'm gonna put some bloopers in. And you know what? I'm just gonna keep rolling. How the blank did I get uphill? Oh crap! I didn't. Or downhill. This is dangerous with the expensive iPod and my microphone that is decently expensive. Oh, is that my mic cord? Nope, my mic cord is still intact. Yeah, thank you guys. This has been great. Yeah, enjoy the All-Star match. Let's go! Welcome to the All-Star game. We're going to be doing a 6v6 double battle instead of standard, 4v4 VGC. Outside of that, it's still essentially VGC. We've decided upon that to where we can showcase both teams of All-Stars as well as possible. So without further ado, let's just quickly run through these teams. We have Clefairy reigning from Kanto. We have Murkrow reigning from Johto. We have Mimikyu reigning from Alola. We have Phalanx reigning from Galar. We have Ursaluna reigning from Hisui. And we have Overquill also reigning from Hisui. Over on Platinum's side of the battle, we have Milotic from Hoenn. We have Torterra from Sinnoh, which is interesting to include since they didn't do anything. But continuing on, we have Among Us from from Unova. We have Talonflame from Kalos. We have the Population Bomb Dangerous Mousehold from Paldea, and we have Blood Moon Ursaluna also reigning from Paldea. Both of these squads have had success with these individual Pokemon, these are deemed as our All-Stars, self-selected. In future formats, we are going to do a fan vote to ensure there are no biases to just the ones that we liked, to make sure that the fans decide, because that's typically how All-Star games go. So without further ado, let's jump into this battle! Mochi Mochi Mayhem starts off this All-Star game. Which of these two All-Star squads will show their muscles in victory, as Phalanx and Murkrow come out for Gummy Squad against the Talonflame and Maushold for Platinum Squad. This is a bop. It is always great. How will this turn go? Terastallization comes out with the Phalanx into the Steel type, which can be quite dangerous with a Talonflame across the field. Talonflame using Tailwind to boost the speed of this side of the field, as Murkrow does the same thing on Gummy's side. Both sides are fast AF, as the youngins say, as Murkrow is going to be decimated by this population bomb, but not prior to being able to get a very important Tailwind off, as Phalanx is literally grittying all over the field, getting the Omni Boost from No Retreat. We shall see, as he is no longer able to escape. We shall see if this will play well, as Clefairy comes out from Gummy's squad in a beautiful luxury ball, I might add. This music is bopping. Everybody do the chicken dance. Chicken dance. Yes, Helping Hand comes out from the Phalanx, from the Clefairy into the Phalanx's position, as Rock Slide is going to hit both of these team members, and Inri, the Talonflame, is going to hold on to its Focus Sash as a Will-O-Wisp goes into the Phalanx, neutering its attack for the remainder of the battle. Maushold is going to use Taunt into the Clefairy to prevent it from using helpful moves for the rest of the battle. This turn noodled Gummy's squad quite well. No longer to be able to do any damage, Gummy has to contemplate switching, or no longer being able to support, Gummy has to contemplate switching Clefairy, as Talonflame is switched out on the side of the field of Platinum. In comes Torterra. Clefairy also comes out, as stated potential before, as the Overquill comes in to replace it. Gritty uses Rock Slide, doing very minimal damage to both of these Pokemon, and Maushold is flinched due to the King's Rock being held by Gritty. Also, Rock Slide has a higher flinch rate. This song is a bop. Phalanx is dancing, and so is everybody else. Comment down below what your favorite part of the DLCs have been so far. Comment down below also what you thought of the most recent Pokemon Presents. Did you like what was announced? Did you hate it? Gritty using Iron Head into the Torterra spot to do very minimal damage due to the burn it has taken, as Population Bomb is going to go into big ol' Puff Daddy, the Overquill. Will this be overkill into the Overquill? It will be overkill into the Overquill spot, As that Maushold picks up the KO, what will Torterra do as it sets up a Shell Smash, which it was previously practically unable to do in all prior battle? As its attack and special attack all raising, and also its speed, as its defenses are falling, and Griddy is being chipped out via the Born, and Tailwind has fallen on both teams, which is hilarity because it doesn't actually matter because just the speed was the same anyway. Which Pokemon will Gummy bring in? He has chosen to bring in Hoalola, which means best friend in Hawaii. If you did not know, just kidding. Actually, Hoaloha means best friend in Hawaiian. And to add the flair, I added it to Hoalola because that's the name of the Alola region. And as I have spared some time via talking about random things, as my brain is going all over the place as I've recorded way too many videos in the last 24 hours, Platinum is going to use up his Terastallization into the Torterra to Terastallize into the Steel type, a very great defensive option. As this Torterra is filled with rage, Maushold using Follow Me to redirect all damage into itself. Torterra is going to use Bullet Seed into Hoalola, taking out its disguise. Its disguise has been busted. It takes a little tiny bit of HP due to that, and then it is hit by the very powerful Bullet Seed. And this bullet has been shot from a Glock. Which is funny that I said that because it's a Steel type total, and it's a Glock. You get it? Maushold has avoided the attack, staying alive that much longer. This Maushold surprisingly has had a good bit of vitality. Can Gummy do anything against this Torterra? Can Gummy break this Torterra? Which of the loyal three is your favorite? Munkidori, Okidogi, or Pheasantipede? As Helping Hand goes into the spot of the Phalanx, Bullet Seed is going to go into the Clefairy. Will this Clefairy be able to live the onslaught of 4 to 5 of these, being most likely powered up by a loaded dice? It has hit 4 times. And Griddy goes ahead and uses Rock Slide to take out that Maushold, to do also a little bit of chip damage into the Torterra. That could be potentially all Gummy needed, or it could be not enough, as the Among Us comes out that will be able to redirect damage coming in and also potentially make some Pokemon fall asleep. Go, Grandma, go, Grandma, go. Go, Grandma, go, Grandma, go. Am I the only one who really loves the Grandma dancing in the background to all of these battle videos? She's literally on multiple sides of the field. But don't get me wrong, I would be bopping to these songs too. Clefairy is going to go ahead and use the Protect to be able to mitigate potential damage coming into it, as Rage Powder is going to redirect damage into the Among Us. Bullet Seed is going to go into the protected slot of the Clefairy, as Close Combat comes into the Among Us slot, not doing a lot of damage and lowering the defenses of this Phalanx in the process. Griddy is literally griddying all over the field. This Phalanx, having its damage noodled is not good. It is sitting here like a lump on a log. Among Us is going to use the Rage Powder to redirect all potential moves into it, as Clefairy is going to do the same thing across the field using Follow Me. And Bullet Seed is going to go into the Clefairy to go ahead and pick it off to take it out, which takes out also its Friend Guard ability, which means the remaining Pokemon on the field will take normal damage from here on out. Or not normal, as in just whatever. I can't speak English today. What is going on? As this Rock Slide barely does any chip to both sides. As on his last leg, Gummy the Ursaluna comes out on the field for its potential last chance to do something. Whatever shall it do to be able to continue in this match? Everybody dance, everybody dance. Everybody dance, everybody dance. Sorry. Decisions are still being made by both of these competitors. Which decision shall be made that could potentially turn the tide of this, as Rage Powder comes out from the Among Us, but both of these Pokemon do have spread moves, so that might be worthless. Rock Blast goes into the bulletproof Ursaluna, as we have seen multiple times throughout this series that ability is forgotten about, as Earthquake is going to hit everybody on the field, taking out the Torterra and the Phalanx and doing decent chip into the Among Us. But this is going to leave Gummy on the back leg with just his Ursaluna. Is just his Ursaluna enough to be able to do something against the rest of Platinum's all-star team? Did he take too long to take out that Torterra? Among Us is going to receive a little bit of HP back due to its black sludge. Grandma is dancing in the background quite lavishly. As Milotic comes out, as we've seen Milotic before, has huge damage reduction potential once it gets the burn off. Milotic is going to use Coil, which is going to boost its attack and its defense to further boost its vitality against this physical attack. Or Thunder Punch is going to go into the Milotic spot, not doing near enough damage, as the Spore is going to connect into the Ursaluna spot to render it useless for the remainder of the battle. This appears to be checkmate for Platinum's side of the field. It appears that Platinum's side of the field will be taking a Game 1 victory in this set of the All-Star Game. Hydro Pump is going to go into the sleeping Ursaluna and almost take it out in one shot, as Citrus Berry is going to restore a little tiny bit of health. What will Among Us do? Will it use a move called, I can't remember. It is going to use Giga Drain! Yes! It does, to take out this Ursaluna. That is not the Blood Moon, that is the Hisuian variant. As Ursaluna faints, so does the rest of the team. Platinum has taken this Game 1 victory in this set of the All-Star Game of the Regional King format. Comment down below what has been your favorite part of this regional format. Comment down below also, what Pokemon do you think should have been on our teams? I'm sure we both made mistakes in that, because we split made this decision within just a couple minutes. Milotic and Talonflame lead the squad across the field, as Murkrow and Phalanx lead this side of the field. This is some amazing music. This is Champion Iris's battle theme, all the way from Black to White to within Generation 5. This is always a bop. Will-O-Wisp is going to come out into the Milotic spot, immediately granting its ability to boost its defense. Milotic is going to avoid the Rock Slide, and Talonflame is going to be hit by the Rock Slide and the Foul Play, taking it out, turn 1, to where this phalanx can no longer be noodled potentially by any Borns. Milotic is going to boost its defense and its attack and its accuracy. That is the other thing that I forgot to mention about Coil previously. Decisions are being made by Platinum of which Pokemon to send out, as he sends out Maushold, the very dangerous population bomber. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube? I don't know. We'll find out. Gritty is literally fixing to Gritty all over the field. And it appears that Gummy still does not know what Quash does, as he goes in for the taunt into the Maushold. As Maushold uses Population Bomb into the Murkrow spot to go ahead and take it out with an extra little critical hit on that final hit, which was number 5. Mamba number 5. Oh, look at that, the no retreat. It appears that this Phalanx is grittying all over the dance field to Mamba number 5 as it gets an Omni boost straight in the face of both of these competitors, as Milotic is going to be using Blizzard and it is going to hit Phalanx for more than decent damage, all things considered. As Milotic does restore a little bit of HP with the leftovers, as we see there has been an item switch. Or I guess that switch happened all. I don't know. I just now noticed as a commentator is actually what I was trying to say. As the Clefairy comes out for Gummy. I have been all over the place doing these videos. I decided to commentate them all in one weekend, night and day, starting from probably 4 p.m. one night, going all the way to close to 10 p.m. into maybe from 2 to 4 p.m. the next day, as Gummy is still making decisions of what to do, what to mitigate, what to fight through. Is Milotic the most dangerous one, or is Maushold? Are they both equally dangerous? Does anybody know what to do? Grandma is still dancing behind Platinum, as she always does. As less than 10 seconds remain in this move timer, Gummy is making a split-second decision to go with the Follow Me to redirect all damage into itself to protect the grittying all over the dance floor, as its defenses are going to fall after that close combat does not do a lot of damage into the Milotic, as Population Bomb is going to land into the Clefairy spot. Will it be enough to take it out? Find out next episode on Dragon Ball Z. It does not. It lands all 10 and Clefairy lives on 14 HP, but it does not matter, as a critical hit on Phalanx completely takes it out with the Blizzard, and so does Clefairy fall. Gummy does not have a leg to stand on against this Milotic. Milotic might be the MVP of Hoenn's squad, and potentially the MVP of this All-Star game. Gummy is left with 3 Pokemon. Which one shall he bring out first to mitigate all potential possibilities to maybe pull a Wincon out of the slimmest of opportunities, as Mimikyu and Overqwil come out? Will they be able to do enough against this practically full team ahead of them? It is 5v2. This seems too insurmountable, as Overqwil is going to take a Population Bomb to the face. Will it be able to survive 10 hits? It does not appear to be so, as it falls! It has fallen to the Maushold. This Maushold is quite dangerous, as the Mimikyu sets up a Swords Dance to boost its attack for potential future attacks, as the disguise is busted via the Blizzard, in removing approximately, a quarter, an eighth of HP. I don't remember the mechanic, and I ain't about to do math right here in front of everybody and embarrass myself, as Milotic takes a little tiny bit of HP. I do believe it is a quarter. Maushold has shook off its taunt. And Ursaluna is going to come out as a misclick happened and almost tried to bring back the fainted Clefairy. Oh, he wishes he could mitigate damage. This Maushold is looking very menacing, and so is Milotic. This team, this core is very strong. Maushold using the follow me. But it does not matter because it is being taken out immediately by this Mimikyu with +2 attack as Blizzard goes into both of these Pokemon, doing more than decent ship as Thunder Punch goes into Milotic, not doing quite enough. Leftovers recovery is going to come out, but is going to be dissipated by the burn damage, keeping its HP at the same-ish value. Amoonguss is going to come out. This seems like an insurmountable lead. It seems like Platinum is going to take a nice Game 2 victory to take the All-Star game on top of his already previously won championship with his Paldean squad. Little Platinum has dominated this tournament. Rage Powder comes out from the Amoonguss to redirect all damage into itself to protect this Milotic, as Shadow Sneak is going to come out into the Amoonguss doing more than decent chip. Blizzard is going to come out, almost KOing both of these Pokemon. And the Citrus Berry is going to be eaten up by this Ursaluna, bringing it close to half health, as Thunder Punch goes into the Amoonguss and doesn't hardly do any damage. It appears there is nothing that Gummy can do to survive for the rest of this battle. It does appear that Platinum is going to move on to take this All-Star victory. Decisions are still being made by both of these competitors. This is on the wire. Gummy does not have much of a leg to stand on, as Terastallization is going to come out onto the field on Platinum's side with this Milotic, turning into the Water type to further boost its damage potential. Rage Powder is going to come out with the Amoonguss to redirect all moves to mitigate damage onto this Milotic. Shadow Sneak is going to go into the Amoonguss, doing a lot of damage, but quite not enough, as Hydro Pump is going to land into the Ursaluna, taking it out, leaving just Mimikyu, who has been busted on this field. Gummy has 0 legs to stand on. Gummy might as well be a plank of wood as opposed to a table, because a table has 4 legs and a plank of wood has none, as this music quells, and me as the commentator has now music in the background that we are listening to. Rage Powder comes out from this Amoonguss, becoming the center of attention as always, as the Shadow Sneak could potentially pick up the KO against the Amoonguss, and it does! But will it be enough coming from this practically perfect accuracy? Hydro Pump coming out of the Milotic into the Mimikyu, taking it out of commission, as the All-Star game has been won by Platinum. What else is left in this video? I do not know. Just kidding, it's the end. I'm looking at my video timeline incorrectly. Thank you as always for watching this entire series. Click the playlist above to watch previous battles if you did not get to check in, and or just watch anything on my channel. check out TPS Platt also. I should have been plugging him more throughout this whole series, and I just now realized I hadn't been. Sorry, TPS. Your channel's always been linked in these videos, though. So, thank you, as always, for watching. Gummy out. Wow, what a interesting All-Star match. I don't know if we're going to do that for the next season. We haven't done it at this point, even though we finished it. So, I don't know, drop a comment down below in any of the Season 2 matches or this one if you like the idea of the All-Star match. Here comes some bloopers. God dang it, I messed up the fourth shot. This is awkward. I know how to not mess up with the hand cramp. Is this mic on? Okay, the mic's on. Okay, good. Fucked up the fourth shot. This is socially awkward. There are people at this public park. As you see, there's probably fixing to be some human being walking past the camera. They saw me do the fourth shot. I passed them on the way up here. Yeah, I shot the fourth shot in the wrong aspect ratio. That was embarrassing. You see where it goes, the bloopers.